good day. Shout out to him. We the capitalist pigs, says Ben Affleck. I love it. Super something Baja humans, yo. Shout out to John. Robert Sharif, we love you like one of us, man. I love you right back, brother. And my sister's American. So I've got a lot of love for Americans, man. You're not going to find any anti-American sentiment for me. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, we love Texas and Illinois.
Yeah, absolutely. The great state of Texas. I thought it was fantastic, man. Beautiful, beautiful state. I had a hell of a time there, and like when I came back, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna go back again because I was like,
well, that's what I was saying.
No, but like I completely forgot the Cowboys play there, so I absolutely have a reason to go back to Dallas, right? I was talking in the sense that like I didn't feel it was like a vacation spot.
It's not. No, it's not.
That was Neil.
What did Neil say? What did he do, man?
Neil, did you?
No, listen. I don't like Boston.
Hold on. Let's drag Neil into this. Did you see the Bills? Number 2 ranked, my man, behind the LA Rams to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, you guys are like, I know, I got it, Neil, but I'm just telling you what the facts are.
Every year for the last
He said every year for the last how many years they've been number 1, 2, or 3.
I love you guys, but the last city in the United States that I would ever go to is Boston.
Is where?
Boston.
What's wrong with Boston?
I have no idea. I'll never go there. It's just I can't stand the Bruins, dislike the Celtics, and the New England Patriots for years.
The Scots loved it. They
drank
fine.
Boston dry. Yeah, well, that's cool. But the Boston
clam chowder is delicious.
The Boston Bruins are easily my most hated sports franchise.
Clam chowder.
Yeah, that's fine. Good love. Oh, did you know who the CEO? Do you see the CEO?
I don't like any of those.
Name of Rocket Lab, founder and CEO.
No, remind me.
It's Peter Beck.
Oh yeah. We did see this. Speaking of Peter Beck, someone's back in the house. So shout out to him.
I didn't see him. Did you see him today?
No, not today. But you don't show up like here for a day.
I should go there for the food. What am I getting over there, man? I don't want any clam chowder or any of that.
They drank them dry, bro. The Scots. They shut down Boston, man.
Yeah, Boston.
A lot of alcohol.
I do like Marky Mark though. He's from there,
and the Funky Bunch. You don't know about Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
Is that the group he was in?
Yeah.
All right. Dang.
All right, yo. That was crazy. Who was that? That was you, Assassino?
Man.
That was you? Why, Katina, man? Not knowing Marky Mark. Oh, he's failing him. Yeah.
That's why? Because of Boston?
And the Boston take.
Yeah, that's all right.
He wasn't happy with the Boston take.
That's fine with me, man. I'm just not a Bruins fan.
We love you guys, man. We'll see you back tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. The big boys, they are that away.
Yes, sir. Look, man, nothing wrong with Boston. Like, I don't have to like the sports team, so it's a nice city is a nice city. I don't like the Cowboys. I'll still visit Dallas. Dallas is a great city. Had a bunch of fun there.
Exactly.
But I hate on that football team.
You can't be so narrow-minded.
I'm obligated to. It's a big difference, man. You'll never see me cheer for the Patriots. You'll never see me cheer for the Red Sox or the Bruins. But
I mean, I was in Boston, and I felt it was a much nicer city, unfortunately, than the one we live in. But I do. I think it's true. Anybody from Boston, and look, if you've been from Boston or you're from Toronto and you've been to Boston, let me know. Have you been to Boston?
I've never been.
Right. Okay.
But it's on my list. That's what I'm saying. It's on the list.
I might be the only one from.
You might be the only one.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. You said great things.
I think it's a nicer downtown than Toronto. I think it's. I don't even think it's.
Chicago is a better downtown.
Yeah. I mean, there we go. So.
Chicago's downtown.
It's a good thing Joe does. Joe doesn't dislike the Blackhawks.
That's where you go with Chicago.
Then he might not like Chicago.
Well,
he might not ever visit Chicago either. And I'm really glad that he likes the Maple Leafs, or else he may move.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah.
But he did not like the Maple Leafs a couple months ago. But now I think he's back on. We need a bandwagon. We need a wagon thing. We need a wagon.
Oh, so we could jump on the bandwagon?
We can jump off and on the wagon.
Speaking of bandwagons,
yeah,
we should all be jumping on the bandwagon of Orogenics because we're seeing some updates out of them, ticker OGEN on the NYSE American. And the company has now activated its Phase 2A clinical trial in Australia with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury. That's an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Orogenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus shifts now to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. Shout out to OGEN.
I agree.
For sure.
I agree.
We got a super chat in here. Mo Bugatti, Joe needs to be open-minded on food and cities. Don't knock it till
That's
you
why
try
it's the
it.
bro show.
Don't knock it till
They have these hot takes and a lot of fun on the midday show. So, but that's why I was saying. That's why I was asking if anybody had actually been to Boston to make those kind of claims. But I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to be more open-minded.
I don't know anybody that's been. I know yourself, and then I have a few buddies that have been down there to see.
We're probably going back
Fenway
next year,
and
maybe.
absolutely love the city.
Yeah, I've been to Fenway once. I've been to Boston only twice.
Poorly about it.
Shout out to the market downtown there, whatever that market is amazing. Have the great clam chowder there that we're talking about. The bread in the bowl. You get. We went whale watching there. It was really nice. You right on the ocean.
Like the East Coast.
No, you can't do whale watching here, my guy. But in Newfoundland, yeah.
Joe.
Duh.
Joe, Newfoundland is pretty far from here.
Joe is on next level.
Right.
What's up?
Believe it or not, you can also whale watch in Quebec. There's a lot of places you can watch it.
Oh yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
But not here.
Yeah,
No, not here. I'm just saying that
here.
whale watching. I don't know. You could do it in Massachusetts. You could do it wherever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's not.
You can do it. My
it's just
brother's
stuff that
out
we
in
did.
Halifax on the
You
East
can
Coast.
watch
You can do it
baseball many places. You can have anything many places. But Boston's a great city. So shout out to Boston and everybody that's over there. Again, another big capital there. But for sports teams, yeah, maybe not. But State Street, we can trade some State Street located there in Boston. I'm still long on IBIT. Okay, that's the only you can see my position right there. So still from the morning. We weren't here. We would have got longer if it dipped back into that level. But we wrote down with 36.50 earlier today. Just trying to watch out for 65,000. It did. We just had a nice little moonshot there up into 82 from those levels. So again, with a tight stop, we're working out of it now on the way back up. That's all that I have. I haven't done anything else since the morning. We ran Apple upside there, and that's actually getting potentially into a buy zone. But now that we're underneath everything, underneath the 200 period, the reason why we get out at a VWAP break there is because, it didn't break, but at the time, is because when things trade underneath VWAP and underneath some of these key markers, we just want to get out. Like we want to either go short or be out of our longs. So that was the out there for Apple. Apple was a big trade. And then the largest trade for me today was this one. The Q's all the way up, breaks above. This does not break VWAP. So I think if we can go short, it would be the market right now. We'll look at some other names to do that as well. And then we had a big, had a good trade here on SpaceX to start the day. Now that's at 110.50. So, that got all the way back, to a decent level there of 112.50, where possibly another short existed there. We double touched it up at 112. So we'll give it a little bit of leg room here to see if it can jaunt its way back up into the 112. And then I think that's where, not only is that where the players dwell, but hopefully that's where the short happens as well there for SpaceX. So just looking at that. Yeah, looking at a few things there, and DRAM continues to be the story today with names like Marvell down 4 or 5%, ARM down. I was actually looking here. SK Hynix is having a bad day. I think SK Hynix is the one name out of all of these that you can go ahead and buy very, very cheaply valued, and I think there's some little bit of runway here as we value it in U.S. dollars as opposed to what it looks like over there in the Kospi. But I think Micron actually has a lower PE.
They're both single digits.
Yeah, they're both. I think Micron's like a 5 and maybe SK Hynix there is an 8 or so on the PE, but maybe Micron's back up to a 6. Yeah, so I don't know. I thought that there'd be some love for some of these U.S. manufacturers and some of these foundries and whatnot, but then Intel, just machines turned on to the short today, man. It started the day at $95 off of a nice little first 10 minutes. And then, I don't know, the whole market fell right on top of itself. And we had a nice low of $87. That might be the pickup down there today. I don't know if you're going to see, especially if we get a couple good quarters coming, that's pretty low there for Intel. So I think today the portfolio should have probably got a little more heavy with Intel today, but we'll wait to see. A couple days doesn't make it such a good trade. We were bigging up our Google buy at 320, and it's not that far away from there right now. We could be right back into that level tomorrow. So we'll be talking about a few different names. And before I throw it back to Neil, there is one I just saw it in the chat and just showed up on our Halt screener as well. World Series, WLDS right there. We'll see the name of this one, of course, is Wearable Devices Limited. So I got my wearable on today. We went back to the electronic watch there. But yeah, nice move up. WLDS, 4 to 480 and a halt. This might be the first time
2 million
maybe.
Float.
Oh, 2 million float. Okay, so maybe this one hasn't been.
No story?
There must be something with this wearable device name here.
I don't see anything.
Darryl will be all on it, and we'll get over there in a second and see what's up with wearable devices. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's here with us today. It's 2:10. We're getting ready to rock and roll here into the close.
Yes, sir. And yeah, wearable devices. Again, I just looked and don't see a story, but the float's only 2 million shares. So sometimes, Dara, go ahead.
So sorry to interrupt. There is a story, but I don't think it's like from right this second. Like it's not brand new. So it looks like this was around anywhere from 5 hours ago to 1 hour ago. I'm seeing it mentioned. Wearable devices, I guess, had this group called JBD Innovation. Specifically, its owner and I guess owner and director, and also owner, all three of these groups here reporting a 543.63 thousand share stake in wearable devices. That's roughly 25% stake. But that is as of June 17th. And it looks like this was disclosed at least a couple hours ago, if not far earlier. That's it.
Okay.
So one thing worth noting on the stock, it has done. I see.
Is that a reverse split there?
I see two, 1 for 3 reverse splits. I'm kind of. What is this one? Like that's not a reverse split, like that.
It is. Okay. Now what does that say? Oh, it just says the high.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Was that $10 by any chance?
What is that like a?
Maybe
yeah, this would have been a SPAC. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's about.
It's
10,
open
so
now,
it's like
$5.
Reopen, but yeah, it's done a couple of of reverse splits. So the float is pretty small on this thing, and that could be it. So even responding late to news, sometimes that's what will happen. It just once it gets going, low float, doesn't need to be a bunch short because it gets soaked up a lot easier. And if there's the break, probably the reaction on Friday, I think, in the afternoon, and then you're just breaking that level technically. So shorts getting burned today, and there weren't a lot of them. A lot of the small cappers really gave it up here today, with the exception of the KIDZ. I was looking at Rocket Lab because, well, SpaceX broke VWAP in the afternoon, but Rocket Lab went to VWAP and then pulled back in, but it's kind of falling asleep, and I looked over at ASTS. I'm always calling it the same thing. It looks a little bit asleep here. So between the two of them, Rocket Lab and SpaceX, I think looking at VWAP for whichever is going to be next, we're going to go for one of those two. I am in like a Lucid short from earlier and trying to maybe reload it at V. It's come into VWAP a couple times, like VWAP there, and why am I underneath here? Let's see if I can't get some 42 halves to sit on the midpoint and try and get 42 halves or 43s. Just a reload at the volume weighted average price on that stock we're going to go for. Yeah, so let us know what else you guys might be looking at here. Ooh, I see Cheers saying DFNS. That was one from this.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was
that T3 defense. Okay, well, wow. I suppose, look at the break away from VWAP here. Like, it just sits there holding VWAP from 8 o'clock till noon, and that's about the cleanest break ever at 12:15, then halts up, and you're good. That's crazy. Yeah, congratulations, you got that one. I can't imagine, like you're probably just sitting there like waiting for the breakout, and maybe you put a stop order through, and finally when you get it, it never pulls back on you. Yeah, that's a good looking one, DFNS, looks like the small capper to go for sure. Let's look at the daily chart on this. Of course, habitual line stepper. Why is every single one of these a reverse split?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because that's the way it looks.
Every single one of these.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, here goes WLDS, which we don't, again, you just mentioned there, but there it goes breaking through 5 and now going higher as Neil looked at the chart already. It's going, man. Wearable devices, regardless of if we can explain what this move was all about, it does stop at 10. Like that, does that not look like $1 up to $10? I know it happened in multiple days, but that's a big move there. And now you're starting this move at 135. A couple days, as Dara mentioned, we'll see nice bump, then a bigger bump here for WLDS. Is that name starting to go? I was just looking again. Dara's doing all this work for pre-market, post-market, all these earnings reports, and today looks kind of sleepy. I thought AstraZeneca actually had a nice move this morning. Did it or did it not? AZN. I'm just typing it up in the chart to see. Yeah, well, okay. My bad. It gave it all the way back. AstraZeneca. We'll have a look at that chart in a minute.
Oh, damn.
It's now down to 169. It's just flat on the day from starting up a couple percentage points. Cadence, again, we can look at Applied Digital. I mean, that could be good. APLD, a little bit of work to be done on that name, most likely. Navitas, I don't know if that's a Kathy Wood name or not. Celestica is one of the best names around here in Canada. That name is really, really bumped higher. So Celestica on the way back in right now, but that was a big mover there. We can have a look at that. And then Nucor, of course, as long as this is NUE, yeah, big steel. This is one of the names that I used to own, got out of it, and probably a mistake, as Nucor is in absolutely great, the largest steel manufacturer in the United States, NUE. If you want to diversify your portfolio, get some Nucor into your life. I think you'll be happy with it. It's been a nice move, pays a nice dividend as well. There goes Nucor, upside there. Looks like we could be in for a decent hold. I mean, it bounced off that 220. We'll see what winds up happening. Ridiculous to make a comment about what we expect from earnings, but I would say steel, with especially this being American first, with all the tariffs and everything like that are hitting. We do know that there's going to be some steel tariffs here put on us here in Canada. There already is. So, forcing U.S. companies to buy American made, right? And so I think that Nucor should work. And it's another one of those Kramer names. So that's where I know it from. But Nucor, definitely something to be looked at if you want to diversify a little bit. I believe the dividend is probably pretty solid upside. I don't think it's as much as I am maybe thought it was, but nice move there for Nucor.
Sure,
and then
I'm sure it's all right.
Yeah, you want to chase yield. Part of the problem today is oil names. A USO down 8% here. Some obvious tensions, in the Middle East just continues. But we did get a little bit of a ceasefire talk there, bringing oil back down 8%. Sharif did a little geography lesson earlier about the Strait of Hormuz. And then there's another strait that the Houthis are looking at there in between Somalia and I'm not sure, but down into that area. And then there's the pipeline that's eventually going to get done as well, where they could bypass the strait, right? I am surprised that oil's not higher considering all the turmoil that we've been in, but it's a nice pullback today for USO. And, it just leads to other names. We were just talking about gaining some, potential bottom picking opportunities. You did have a great one just about a week and a half, or I guess more than that, maybe a month ago, down here early July or so, when our good friend XOM hit the 200 period, allows CVX and a couple of those other names. Definitely good buying opportunities. Any solid company at the 200 period moving average, I don't think you'll get any arguments from us trying to pick some of those up. And XOM, one of the oldest names in the Dow, and continues to be pretty successful there. So that's some energy. We are looking for more plays, man. I know we're talking about some halting names, but if there is anything that you guys want to talk about, Kids is another one there that's still moving around as well.
The strongest name this morning out of a larger cap tech stock might be pulling back, and that would be Palantir.
Okay.
Palantir was up 7.5%, I want to say, maybe even a little bit more than that. Actually, I think it hit 8%. Let's call it 8%, and a little bit of a pullback here, but sort of watching this. It's not a huge trend, so I don't really want to be like, oh, this is a great trend line break. But if it loses 131, I think there's room to VWAP, and you do have a bit of a head and shoulders, not head and shoulders, but like double top, lower high going on with PLTR. And it wasn't just this. I mean, the IGV, the IGV did a pretty good job just channeling higher as well. So some of the relief today really did come via software names, big time led by Palantir. So I think this can lose 131 or maybe even consolidate here, break down one time. Just want to find an entry where we can have a realistic tight stop and not just short it here and be giving it to the high. Because I think you need to have 132 if you're going to be giving it to the high, or at least some kind of a pop. So Palantir is going to be on radar. There was no catalyst for Palantir. It's not like we came in, sat down this morning, and there was a reason for Palantir to be on the watch list or even any of the software names. It had a strong opening drive and then slowed down with everything else and then just absolutely ramp jobs off of VWAP.
I think there's going to be some love for software names now.
It was right after we left the show in the morning at 11 o'clock. It just really took off. But that's part of rotation. If this was out of favor, these guys were out of favor, maybe you start finding some bottoms. Now, the real bottoms, the real exciting lows, I should say, might be in some stocks like ServiceNow, which is 8% here. I'm just looking to see if there's something better for fade play here. So I'm going to go through some of the software names if there's a fade in any of those. We're going to go up to Adair at the wall, just a quick Just a quick update. Our third short at Lucid at VWAP, it just popped VWAP, so I'm out. I'm not going to hold it through when it was able to hold prior lows or hold the volume weighted average price. That's one thing, but not going to take any more shots unless it gets right back underneath. Let's see what Adara has at the wall.
Hope you guys are hungry. Here's today's segment here of the To the Window, to the Wall, where I pick up an infographic window and we put it on the wall and we talk about it. Jersey Mike's. They go public on Thursday, and it's actually a pretty notable IPO here, guys. IPO price between $21 and $25. The exact range is C-Square, oddly enough, offering about $1.25 billion, so just larger than C-Square. Shares offered here, 43.478 million shares, and your lead underwriters include such well-known names as Morgan Stanley, Jefferies, and JP Morgan. Now, I looked into the history of this company, which will be trading on the NYSE as JMKE, and it's pretty fascinating. So this was founded by, I guess, a couple here, Michael and Marie Ingravallo, back in 1956. They had a couple restaurants, mostly here in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, along the Jersey Shore. In 1971, a teenager by the name of Peter Cancro starts working there, and a couple of years later, when he's 17 in 1975, he actually buys the store. Yes, that's right, a 17-year-old scrounged the financing together with the help of and encouragement of his mother, and he bought the store. So Peter Cancro actually becomes the founder of the Jersey Mike's franchise, but he doesn't really start franchising it until 1987. So yeah, weird 30-year gap here between the company's actual founding and then the franchise's founding, because it was initially founded as Mike's Submarines in 1956 before changing the name. Now, it's interesting too, they've expanded here, of course, beyond the US and Australia, Mexico, and Canada. There's actually a location not too far from our office. And Peter Cancro, again, the founder here, who is no longer the CEO. As you can see, the CEO is currently Charlie Morrison, but Cancro actually sold a majority interest of Jersey Mike's to Blackstone. So there's a Blackstone connection here as well. JMKE, again, set to go public on Thursday. I was saying earlier today, this is 10 times oversubscribed. So this IPO might not be anything to scoff at. Hopefully we're hungry for what should be a pretty interesting debut on Thursday, July 30th. You can check out this infographic tomorrow morning when it's scheduled to be posted on X at TTV Research. But in the meantime, that was today's segment of To the Window, to the Wall. We're going to send you guys over to Sean and Neil and maybe go to Jersey Mike's. Who knows? Back to you.
Yeah, it's a Union.
Union Station. I was going to say, I've seen any Jersey Mike's around here, but I definitely that's a favorite. When you go to a city like Boston, you can get some Jersey Mike's or anywhere in the United States, I guess. And apparently at Union Station.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So yeah, Jersey Mike's big favorite.
Been through Union a bunch. I don't think I remember seeing it though.
Yeah, we went to one in Minnesota actually with the team for one lunch. They all went to Jersey Mike's. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that could be one that's good enough to take, just in terms of, like, it's 1.2 billion shares, so. Sorry, $1.2 billion, I should say, not shares, like 43 million shares. But that could be one that
What's up with the pizza over there?
Going for sure.
What is
I just feel like any IPO that's a decent enough
forgot
size
about the
is
pizza.
tradable. You didn't have a slice?
No, I just saw Joe hitting it. Yo, Joe, don't tell Sharif you're having carbs, my guy. I don't want anything happen with your relationship.
You gotta grab a slice.
I just want to show you, this is Chipotle, right? Like Chipotle, another tasty treat over here. You could see right there, this started at 97 cents. This is 2006. This IPO'd at $1. Now it didn't. This has been split adjusted and everything, and they've been going through a hell of a time there recently. And we actually mentioned might be a tough sale right now for many of these names as we look at that shredded lettuce issue. That might also hit Jersey Mike's. Like I don't know, I forget what it's called, but there's been explosive diarrhea. I don't want to laugh about it because I don't know, like. That's one of the worst things. Like, you can't, uncontrollable there. But anyways, I don't know if I've ever had it as bad as it sounds like people are having it here. But anyways, Chipotle did wind up mooning. And, we do like sort of that. And if you look over here as well, Kava. I'm just trying to think of like some more recently IPO. There's other names too. There's another name that they make a lot of bowls. Fresh something, I can't remember. Yeah, that's what it is. Sweet Green's a good one. That's it there, Sweet Green. But there it is, nice move upside as well for Kava initially, right? I mean, give it a couple months and then, blossoms into their valuation and pull back in for Kava. So Sweet Greens, I believe, is that just SG? I think it is. Yeah, so Sweet Greens, good memory on that name. You could see this one has had an opposite feeling to it right there. As Sweetgreens looks like they IPO'd. This is monthly, so somewhere around the $50 mark, and now we're chilling out $6. So they've had a little bit of a different opportunity there, as opposed to Jersey Mike's, which come to market. Would you say Thursday it was, Adair?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
So Thursday. So we'll wait for that. And
ironically, 364 days after the blockbuster Figma IPO, which was July 31st, but still the same Thursday, I guess. So interesting.
I see you're throwing some shade at
Figma was such an amazing IPO, Adara.
I mean,
how dare you besmirch the reputation?
Wait, you guys think I'm being sarcastic? I wasn't. It was a blockbuster on day one.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, Neil.
It wasn't after that. I would have put it a lot.
Huge blockbuster.
It takes a lot more for me to be sarcastic. I apologize if there was any confusion, guys.
Oh, Figma was a dumpster fire after like 1.5 days.
Yeah, that's true.
But what an amazing 30 hours or whatever it was.
Sounds like SpaceX.
Well, did SpaceX?
That's almost the exact same chart as SpaceX.
Yeah, but SpaceX went up a little bit longer than.
Did it?
Figma was like early on the second day. It gave it up and it really never came back. There was a nice bounce off 50. It looks like so like. Whatever. It hasn't been a good chart for Figma. I shouldn't besmirch it, but SpaceX was a little bit better because the second day it actually closed at the high on the second day. So there you go. Like that was a full 2 days of goodness before it just started falling all over itself. And much like Figma, it found one bid at 150. Figma was like $50, and then new fresh levels. I'm not saying it's going to happen to Jersey Mike's, but I feel like you don't want to chase a hot couple of days on any IPO. Oftentimes, if you get the issue price and it goes from there, you get like one run, and then almost always you start finding price discovery tends to be unkind. That's why you come to market, is to raise capital and be exit liquidity at oftentimes. And like SpaceX, there's been a lot of exiting liquidity, that's for sure.
Okay, yeah, I was looking also here. This is another good name to look at if you're going to take a look at a well-appreciated. This is Cheesecake Factory, man. This came out again. You could have traded this at any time. This is sub $5. There are a whole bunch of splits, like split, $86. So this name back, if you had this at its IPO, you're talking about $3 or so. Down there, $86. So you're talking, 30 times basically. But you had to wait 30 years. But that was 92 up to present. So a couple of splits in there, and there goes Cheesecake Factory. So although that's a place I've never been to.
I've never been there.
There is one there at Yorkdale. I know that much.
Didn't there used to be one at Sherway? I thought there was never one at Sherway.
Not that I know of.
Maybe I'm thinking Yorkdale that I'm thinking.
This is what we're expecting on Wednesday, man. You are now one day, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, and whoever number 30 is, away right now, 62, 37%. So it's looking, even this morning when Neil checked, this was lower. So it's
33.
starting to inch up. This should be really exciting, man. There hasn't, if you're anywhere but here on Wednesday, I think that's a mistake. We have, we're going to be watching these live. This is actually a coin flip.
This will move. We're gonna get good price.
60-40 is a coin flip, right? I know 50-50 is, but that's as far as interest rates are concerned. I don't remember the last time. Now it'll probably be a little more certain day of, but I can't see too much changing. I don't know what we have as far as economic calendar for tomorrow or anything like that, but 62-38.
Tomorrow is super light. CB consumer confidence at 10, I think, is the biggest, which is not much.
Okay.
Wednesday, there's literally nothing before the number, but weirdly, we get all of the really interesting data after the rate decision. So you get PCE, GDP, all coming through on Thursday, and then
immediately after
sentiment on Friday. So it kind of sucks the data comes after the Fed can use it. But also, I just really want to quickly mention while I'm here, if I may, President Trump made some interesting kind of circular comments here about the Fed today. He said, he basically implied he really likes Kevin Warsh still, but he's not sure about the rest of the Fed, and he doesn't really think the rest of them are going to be able to
I wonder why he likes Warsh so much.
Well, yeah, he has faith in Warsh more or less here. He says the Fed should cut rates, but also he thought inflation was strong, but he said that like it was a good thing. So, but again, President Trump has repeatedly said that he thinks we should get like 12% plus GDP and keep rates low. So that type of thinking from President Trump came up again today. Interesting look.
Well, I just know this much. If on Wednesday they do raise rates, short the IWM. Just short the Russell. That's the place to look. And obviously, I think that it probably cuts both ways because you have a coin flip. I think there's going to be an actionable trade in either direction. But you don't want to look at the Russell, some small cappers, for sure, because they've been hanging out, just chilling at the highs. Does it feel like the Russell's pricing in a rate hike? I'd say no. I don't think anybody's expecting it. It's weird that it's that high because I feel like not a lot of people are expecting that's going to happen, but we'll see. And that's what makes it pretty exciting for sure. Green Hub, I glanced up at the chat and saw this. And if you tag my name, it's all in orange like that, so I'm going to immediately see it. Hey, big man, why aren't we talking about NVTS earnings today? Thought you liked the company. Navitas. Okay, first of all, did I ever say I like this company? I don't know that I've ever commented on NVTS. I'm sure we brought it up before on days where maybe the chart looked pretty good. I'm like 99. I don't think I've ever really mentioned that I like this company. I don't think I do, and it's in a bit of a downward channel here for sure. So sometimes you coming into earnings, it does set the bar a little bit lower. You give a chance to bounce off levels, but that's also a potential flat bottom break here, just above the $10 level. So, and again, we'll talk about anything that's moving, anything that's got a catalyst, but I can't say that this is a name that I'm in love with or have ever said that. Don't own it. Don't think we've ever seen anybody trade that. I don't think anybody's traded this on the show now that I think about it. Chain Reactor with the super chat. You know, the actual crazy thing, there's a lot of crazy things about SpaceX, is SpaceX has only shed about 3% in cash of its total defense contract. That's a boatload of money just to burn.
The actual crazy thing is SpaceX has only shed about 3% in cash. Oh, so you're saying it has a lot of cash on the balance sheet there of its total defense contract. Okay, so you're just adding them all up. Remember, a lot of these contracts are not paid,
Yeah, they're over a very long period.
Yeah, that's a boatload of money just to burn. I mean, I think we've been talking a little bit about SpaceX. I think there was only one day, and that might have been Friday, that I wrote on SpaceX long on the sticky note. And, you know, we continue to look at it today short. I mean, I even wrote down 118. We didn't get to 118, but we did start the day short. And now it's trying to battle back. I mean, this was one of the only days. And, you know, again, cherry picking a little bit here. Thursday went upside as well. Thursday, Friday, both upside there into the close, right? So you may, you know, get some more love back in for SpaceX. Now, we have to remember it's August 4th. So we're talking about next Tuesday is earnings or is the report for SpaceX. You don't want to call it an earnings report because there won't be any on the books there. But SpaceX downside, I want to hear what Starlink is talking about. Want to see if there's some nice pickup in Starlink. I think that would be important. Like to hear, obviously, more about their cash burn, how that's looking, what's XAI looking like. They're all wrapped up into one. What's this new Grok there? You know, we know that full self-driving, as far as Tesla is concerned, has gotten to record highs. The deployment of full self-drive. What does that mean for not just full self-drive, but, you know, what is the AI sort of play here for XAI and Grok, and how does that affect SpaceX's numbers and some of the data centers? And we heard last week as well that SpaceX was trying to sell some of their compute power over to the US government. Sharif and Joe were talking about NASA contracts and whatnot and what SpaceX role is and all of that. And you just mentioned there with the super chat about their cash burn. So yeah, it seems like SpaceX, I mean, do you know how expensive it is? Like, they're not building data centers in space probably, I don't want to say ever, but not anytime soon. You know how expensive it is just to lift like a pound of debris into space? I mean, just the fact of how much it's costing just to launch up, let alone bring equipment and continuously monitor and, you know, have to fund that project, that's going to be huge. And until the cost, and I forget what it is, it's cost per pound of takeoff. I don't know. There's a metric there.
Well, that's why
it's still in the thousands of dollars.
That's why Friday's launch is so big, because they need to move to the Falcon, and then that way it'll get.
I mean, they're gonna have to raise. They're gonna have to raise again, maybe. I mean, I don't know what the cash looks like for them, and I think that's a worry that there will be millionaires minted on August the 6th because there's lockup is over, and if you're sitting on a couple 100,000 shares of SpaceX because you've been with the company forever, or that's probably too many shares, but tens of thousands of shares, and you're locking up for this whole time, and all you've seen is your paper worth dropped by half, literally, you know. You were super excited, you know, you're buying that mansion in wherever, and now all of a sudden you're looking at homes in Texas again and thinking that those might be the spot to buy in because, man, some of those mansions in Texas are dirt cheap. Like I see some on my feed, like $1.5 million, $2 million, where you can live like a king.
It's
there.
Crazy. Our
Texas,
friend who lives in Dallas, like his place it's super nice, and I went to go visit, and we got like an Airbnb in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how cheap it was. I'm like, what? Like when we got there, I'm like, yeah. And then I realized how close it was. I'm like, okay, we got a place in this guy's neighborhood for this. I'm like, what is going on? Like, there's great prices out there.
But there's reasons why they're
Oh yeah, it is what it is. So I've seen this. There's something that's moving here that Adara couldn't find a reason. I can't really see is not really seeing anything. But DJT's up 11%. This doesn't always need a reason to go, but it actually just picked up in volume about 15 minutes ago, kind of a precipitous move to the upside. It has been rejecting just underneath $10 for a while. So like one more push up and it starts to get to this resistance zone. And barring, if there's no story, to me, when this hits resistance, it's a fade. Right, and if it's flash news, usually in the morning, it tends to fade those. But if no story comes out here to explain why it's up here, that just seems like a bit of a resistance spot. Who said Dallas is too hot?
Two blocks from hell. I think
Dallas
they're saying.
Is 2 blocks from.
Yeah, I heard.
With Dallas?
I haven't heard good things about downtown Dallas. I don't know. I've never been there, but just talking about it, I haven't heard greatest things about that either.
I've been there twice and great time both times. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I don't know.
Fort Worth.
Maybe someone could mention why downtown Dallas.
Deep Ellum.
2 blocks from hell. There, and I don't know. I think we can probably. I know Texas is a lot hotter here than Toronto, but you know, if you are from Toronto, you know what the summers are like here. Obviously, we have winters, and Texas does not suffer through those. But our summers are pretty humid here for sure. You'll hear Sharif and Joe go back and forth about that. They're on the midday. Okay, let's look for something else. WLDS halted again. So here we go, man. This name has halted a couple times. So shout out to my guy Bovin there in the chat. I did do Sharif's best job to talk about Bovin here. And, you know, nice move up into $6 there. Halted right now. So a good bounce off this. I mean, this is the pink, first of all, 50-period moving average. Silver, 25-period moving average. Starting to go upside right there. I have a 9-bedroom house in Texas. There you go, man. Congratulations on that. Well, I don't know. I guess congratulations. I have no idea what that means, but there it is, $199. If you're renting one of those 9 rooms, my guy Joe over here may be interested. There it is, 4.5 up to 5, $5.50, $6. Here we go, upside for WLDS. So the halt was $5.94. It's pinging $6.12 right now. So it's a good one there as we continue to go. What's up, other zinc? And we just want to say a big shout out to everybody that's here. I mean, we're having a great time in the chat. Stay away from Texas, says John Burns. Okay. I mean, again, everyone's going to have their own opinion here as we go. Yeah, no state taxes. I mean, that's part of the good reason to be anywhere. If you're a high income generator, you want to stay away from those state taxes. Shout out to Florida as well. And I guess it would be opposite. I mean, shout out to LeBron James taking league minimum $3.9 million to go to Philly. They're finally an athlete that's actually doing what they're saying, chasing a ring, and there's nothing wrong with that. There, you know, if you're going to try to chase a ring, you got to start in the East to get to the playoffs, and then you're working it from there. Yo, what's up, Bill? Right there from TikTok. We want to say a shout out to you as well, and everybody else there, John, No Way, and everybody wannabe trader. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe on TikTok, on YouTube, wherever you're watching us. Make sure you're all about that. And here it is, 6:10 right now. I think we got to go to Adara, but when we get back, we will have WLDS open.
Let's take a look at the markets right now. You have the SPY down 0.27%, the triple Q is down 0.2%, the Dow is up 0.24%, and the IWM is also up very close to 0.30% on the day. Let's take a look at 2 tickers I want to talk to you about. ASML here is down, closing to 7% on the day. Shares have slid as China has begun a mass production of domestically made deep ultraviolet chip making tools. This is coming from the news source, The Information. We also have SAP. So SAP, the German software company's ADRs that trades on the NYSE has jumped more than 7% after it is said that it would start a second part of a 10 billion euro that amounts to 11.37 billion United States dollar stock buyback announced back in January. So shares have jumped over 7% after it has said that it would start the second part of a 10 billion euro stock buyback that was announced in January. Shares of SAP are currently up over 8% on the day.
If they have a reason to. Thank you there, Steve. We're just talking about
I mean, Embiid is amazing, but I don't think the Sixers will make the conference finals either.
It's health. It just comes down to health, man. If they're healthy, they're going to be the team to beat. But you're talking about health with players that have historically.
You're talking about a 41-year-old. You're talking about Joel Embiid.
Well,
Tyrese Maxey is okay.
I'm not worried about LeBron. I'm more worried about Embiid.
No, but I mean, will he slow
Embiid.
down? I mean, it's a matter of to see if he could perform in the playoffs. I mean, he did nothing for.
He doesn't.
Haunted.
I think his keys. He doesn't have to. Like he's not the. Brown will be the best. Look, he's a.
Yeah, but they have Jaylen Brown.
Wearables has opened up. Brown is a beast.
Yeah.
Wearables opened up at 618. It looks like or so. Just got to 640. The halt price was 594. So kind of look at that area for potential support just above 6. It's not really blasting here. Some sellers starting to come in through that $6 level and starting to hold it underneath that $6. So watch out. I mean, this one could halt a couple times through. This one doesn't really look like it's catching. It's not going to catch the bid anytime soon. I don't see the halt band's at 544. So the halt band downside would be 544. If this closes under 6, I'd watch out for that. Of course, any halt bands are going to reset. DJT here might have just, right, looks like it's turning the corner. Topped out at 960, almost to the penny, and it's kind of breaking down here. So it just broke down, grab 49s, and just look for the retracement here. So kind of buying program to the upside, didn't really see a story. Gonna look for the pullback into the breakout level on DJT, but good volume, though I don't want to say falling apart. Falling back down is that wearable devices. But it's the one small capper that has the breakout potential this afternoon that we've seen. If there's something else going, you guys let us know.
The Nasdaq just went back and forth a little bit there, yes.
Yeah, sorry, just on DJT, I'm not seeing any news on it, and there's barely any mentions on social media. There's really nothing to support this.
Very random.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching the TQs. By the way, we're just on IBIT. We got a piece out there. We're getting lighter and lighter on this, and we'll see. I think we'll probably just drop out of IBIT at some point. But look, the TQQs is going nuts. So there's a story here somewhere. There's volume picking up into here right now. That's a nice candle. I just saw it go up and down a little bit there. I feel like, and look, we're tuned in. We've got Adara. I want to thank her. We've got Sia back there. So anything happening news-wise, we'll have it for you. That was a nice little candle there upside. So I'm a little bit uncertain of Wagwan exactly in that one. Thanks to my wife, just sent me this as we have practice tonight. I was hoping to go to my daughter's hockey game instead of running my own practice. 6 p.m. Looks like we're raining now. We're getting close to raining now. And by the way, this is 27 degrees Celsius. So you're going to be talking about in the high 80s, low 90s here, Fahrenheit. So as we just talked about, in a little bit of precipitation over the next little while. Unfortunately, looks like we'll be having our practice tonight. Game tomorrow. I'd rather rain during practice than game time, but it'll be all good. But yeah, anyways, we'll keep our ears to the ground here, or whatever that saying is, with the TQs and with the Nasdaq. We could have a quick look at USO. Is anything going on there? Maybe. I mean,
just a spike down.
There's the move down. So you're getting a little bit of an aggressive move down. Now remember, we are closed in NYMEX right now, but that was 2:30. So that was maybe a minute ago, back into here. No volume on that close, but we did get a little bit of a movement there. I don't know. Is Donald speaking or anything right now? Not yet. Okay. So wait a minute. Not yet.
He was watching this drag race. Then he was supposed to be participating in a gift ceremony. He'll be making comments proper, his traditional remarks. Those are set to take place here at any moment. I'm watching the White House stream. It's not live yet. It's just we will begin shortly. Furthermore, keep an eye on GM, because I have no reason to believe that GM will necessarily directly benefit from this, but I saw Trump with what looked to be Mary Barra, CEO of GM, and he's also speaking in Michigan, so home of the big 3 automakers. So yeah, GM could be potentially in watch here.
Okay.
Already up 4% today.
Yeah.
GM's actually another one of those
That's a
great
good
charts.
breakout.
Yeah, we talked about Ford comes, I think, tomorrow, or it's this week anyways. Yeah, tomorrow after the bells. Ford, as Randy's not here, so we don't have to bash Ford. But yeah, there it goes up through 86. I mean, there goes GM right now. Great report by them. Great move higher, as we talked about the lyric there for Cadillac, and we've looked at some of the GM names, and that's looking like it wants to break out. Just a take of 87.50 or so right there on GM takes us to new all-time highs, and there goes GM. I mean, what a good turnaround story they've been in the market. And if you like GM and you like what they're doing, hopefully Ford can get going as well. We sold some at 15 and then again at 17 out of our Ford position. And it's right back to 15 again now. So 15 was the first take on the way back up because we missed this day. Went down, we got out there. Then it just kept on going. We got out again. This was on that, new power generation sort of model that they had. Then another uptick there. So we'll see if Ford has a 10 or 15% day in it on their earnings call, similar to what GM did. And if Ford does have those days, then we'll be closer to 17 and not all-time highs. But, nice move there. Definitely 52-week highs incoming for Ford, I would say, on a decent report. Look, I mean, I just got gold on my scanner. I don't even think it's moving, just to show you what's going on here with GLD. No, VWAP. So, gold downside, VWAP, little note there spiking through. So keep them coming on the chat, man. Nothing's halting, man. That WLDS, still the same sort of story.
There is a news halt.
Oh, is there another, was that PHG?
Yeah, it's this PHG stock, but yeah, I'm guessing, they're a biopharma, so, because their last piece of news was some kind of an FDA clearance, I think. So obviously something has gone awry here because the stock got destroyed, spiked at about 120, and then just got smoked, and now it's halted, waiting for some news. But that's, with the news halt, you never really know. Once it gets disseminated, then you got some time. I went to look at the trade rate for myself, just this scanner. Whoops, got to actually click to drag. With drag and drop, oddly enough, you have to actually click on it to move it, Neil. It's like, you think you would know this by now, myself. Nvidia, I don't know what GMUB is. Sometimes there's some random stocks that do no volume that get on the top of this trade rate for silly reasons. But Nvidia leading the way, but nothing too crazy, like normal action, Tesla, Micron. But look at this, Nvidia is not really moving right now. Neither is, I almost clicked on that as if I can link it to eSignal. Tesla's not really doing too much. It's just all standard names. Nothing is standing. It's just all of the biggest tech names that usually do good volume seem to be moving. KLAC. Okay, KLA.
KLAC?
That's a $200 stock. I don't know what it's doing on this list. It's not moving either. And so it's a little bit quiet in terms of movers. That's why I went over to that DJT, because it was doing something. It still is. As it broke that little trend, now it's just sort of in the consolidative stage. I'm just bidding down into the breakout. Not VWAP, but down into where it broke out. So yeah, find me something else that might be moving. What's wearable devices doing for everybody?
We just looked.
Oh, halted down. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, tap 514. So what goes up apparently must come down. Have a look at DRAM. DRAM got, look, the market got smoked this morning and wasn't any different for the memory names. But look at this. It's exactly where we left you guys. It just can't do anything with the 5150 level here on DRAM. So until it starts trading away, this could be a breakdown trade, maybe a short off of 51.5, but then you're shorting something boring. You know what they say, you don't want to short boring markets.
I'm gonna start a position if we can. I mean, we're just waiting for a bid. I was gonna get long there at 20. I put a bid at 28, missed it, but we'll see if it comes back in. Let's try Apple off some of these lows, right? We can use this as our out 334.60s. It looks like the low is 334.70. So that's too bad, man. I mean, we could be 10 cents in the money, but we'll let it fall back in. And then I do want to bid 335s if we do get it, and see if we can ride back upside right here. It looks like the market does have a chance to get a little aggressive here now. See if we can run back up into VWAP. Just let's see it hold, right? I mean, we started to make the low, then we got a little higher, then we matched it, if not a little higher, then the new low put in there, and then we got a little bit of a higher. I mean, we are really cherry picking all this data here, but these are all little higher lows as we work our way in. And I just, was really surprised this morning when we were short the TQs, we were short the Nasdaq, and it was just collapsing. Meanwhile, Apple was doing this. So I want to buy some once the move is over. Finally starting to see a little bit of this is now 8 or so. Okay, here we go. We may get our 28s. 8 or so candles in a row here of positivity. We'll see if Apple wants to keep the streak alive. There it is. We get run over immediately. So now we'll just wait. Small, very small, like 1/10 of a unit here. I'm waiting for more at 33.05 just to see if we can get something down at this 25 period moving average. So let's be a little patient with it. Look, it was just at 45, came back into 28. Maybe we eventually get 335. And then just so everyone's aware, we are going to put our stop loss at 334.50, 334.50s, okay? And then we'll take another quarter. So we'll have a quarter of a unit by the time it comes down to 35 right there. And then we'll take some more basically at this low. There it is. So we get that bid right now. And we only got part filled, but I'm going to cancel the rest of it. And now let's go a little lower into that level that we had talked about, 334.75 or so. And we'll put on a little bit of a bigger spot there. And then we'll work our way in or out of Apple, trying to get a little strength. Like I said, that one we sat there and took the fill on those lows. Now we'll see if Apple wants to sort of mature back there to the upside. We only have a quarter of a unit, man. That's it. So we took like 1/10 there, a little bit more there. Now we'll go upside here and see what winds up happening with Apple. Let's get something out if we get back into this area, 36, 37s, and then we'll take our 25 pennies or so, and we'll just say, hey, man, we did it there with Apple one more time. So we just brought this to you. It's a new one. Let's see what winds up happening here with Apple, and maybe some upside move there, AAPL. Just trying to bounce off a little bit there, and we'll see if it can get going. So Apple, new trade idea. And then IBIT, another out. I don't know if we already talked about that. One out there at 72, another out right there again at the 25 period. So we'll put another one at 68, and then maybe we can just wrap this thing up soon. Let's put it at 66, and then we'll get ready to wrap it up with IBIT. I'm not sure if this name wants to go or not. BMNR is actually up quite a lot today. BMNR was up like 12%, still is up. So BMNR.
Yeah, it's strong. It was stronger this morning, and that's with oh, come on, load. There we go. That's with ETH looking just as weak as everything else, right? Like that chart looks pretty much like the overall market, and this happened the other day on BMNR because I was shorted into the lows, and then we took one off of VWAP, but like it's breaking back out. Like this, for whatever reason, just wants to go. Now remember, BMNR, MSTR, when they go up, they have a chance to be able to squeeze a little bit more the treasury plays because they get beat down even more as well. But if this gets to $18, like that's the last line of defense there. And then when that's gone, I think the short squeeze potential is there for BMNR. And I said, it did not even need ETH at all. I just found another name. So I'm looking for, I was just telling Buvin was asking in the chat about a couple of names here or there. I don't want to chase anything. I want to look for VWAP entries, reversions, like that kind of a thing. Just noticed that QBTS has been trending down and just lost VWAP. So last time it was under here, consolidated multiple times, but it's doing so with some lower highs. So I want to play this one to that little trend line break there. So yeah, at QBTS, we're going to look to get filled just underneath VWAP with a stop just above here. It's like 1890. I'm sitting in the mid 70s. Give it like 15 pennies or so, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, again, let us know what you're watching in the chat. I'm thinking about a poll that isn't Fed related because that's 2 days away. But
yeah, we got to think about something else right here. Let's think about some money right now because there goes Apple. Now, I mean, we just put this one on. There goes Apple, now 55 cents in the money as we start to rip to the high side right now with Apple. So, I'm trying to be very, very specific in what we're doing, man. We traded Apple, IBIT, and the futures today. Boom, shakalaka. Just put this on for you. Nice move higher there for Apple. And I don't know, we don't have a full position. We have a quarter of a unit, but we're still riding it just a little bit higher right there as there it goes, man. Put another offer. What is this level there? I mean, those are 80s. We'll go to 75, see if we get something upside now. 61 cents now in the money in just a matter of 4 minutes. So, you got to take those trades where they lie, and we're doing that right now. Good look so far for Apple. We'll see if that winds up happening. Nothing halting back and forth again. DFNS, Buvin wanted to look at that one. T3 Defense Systems. Taking out, there goes Apple again, man. This time, we'll do it again. We'll see if we got it there. DFNS is for you, Buvin. I know you're making a little bit of money on that one, but there goes Apple through 75 cents right now and trying to get higher iBit, we cover that as well right there. We'll see if that can go. But yeah, it's been a good trading day for AAPL as they take over Nvidia today for the highest market cap. Nice upside blow there for Apple, starting to get a little bit of energy underneath it, and we're getting some energy back on this floor as well. As there it goes, man. Nice move there for Apple. Just bought the dips, man. That's always pretty simple right there. We found it. Looked like it was starting to turn over a little bit. Based out nicely down there. This is the kind of trading that I'm trying to do. Find names I like, give us an out, give us an in, and the rest, as they say, is history. Nice move there for Apple. We'll see if we can, again, get a little higher. I don't really have a target. This is the end of the day here. It's 254 entering power hour. If we can get VWAP or this 200 period, basically the same thing. There goes Apple, 336.50. We still have a little ways to go before that goes. Yeah, blue is VWAP. So you're still well under VWAP right now. We just want to take a strong name, and we just read it, and there it goes, man. Upside there for Apple. So far so good there. You've got the DJTA ahead of $10.
Well, DJT, as long as it's underneath $10, I think every single pop that's close to it has been a fade. So I'll stick with that. And QBTS, we mentioned, just going to hold it underneath the trend line. And I was just asked about a couple of names. One of them, Nimit. I have no strong opinions on AMC. I know a lot of people seem to like the bounce that it's making. You know what? There's some things to like. Right, like they're talking about the good box office that's happening this summer. A couple of really good movies. You got the 50 period holding. You got like a golden cross, a 50 crossing the 200, which is usually a bit of a positive sign. There's some technical things that look good with AMC, but it's not something that I'm a gigantic fan of. Technically, looks okay. If it loses one of the major moving averages, that also gives you a bit of an out, where hey, I'm going to be wrong if it does this, but. Yeah, not a huge AMC fan. And when we go back from the desk, I know we're going back up to the desk, Figma breaking out as well right now. So
everybody's
the daily chart may stink, but it is breaking out today, up 8.5%. Let's go up to the desk.
Let's take a look at the IWM right now. It's currently up less than 8%, 0.5%, you could say. Let's take a look at two individual tickers that I have to talk about today. First one being JBLU, JetBlue Airways, has updated fare structure as airlines see the benefit of segmented pricing. The ticker is up 6.6% on the day. And another one, HUMA, not a lot of crazy volume here, but just want to mention up close to 7% on the day. Humacyte has announced an FDA acceptance of investigational new drug for first-in-human clinical study of coronary tissue engineered vessel for its coronary artery bypass grafting. So this ticker also up very close to 7% on the day.
All right, there it is, man. Thank you for that. I watched a special on Polymarket and Kalshi on Netflix. It was pretty good. They had both CEOs on there. They were talking all about their markets and all the money that they made basically during World Cup, and how all these guys were just trading off of Kalshi and Polymarket, a very unregulated marketplace. So I don't know where that's going to go. But we can't.
Think of how much more money they'd be making if Shohei's bookie wasn't in jail.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, these guys apparently like 20, 30, 40, 50 grand bets and things like that on Kalshi, and just moving money from this market to that market, and just absolutely wild. Just kind of like day trading. You might have more success on Kalshi markets maybe than in day trading. But yeah, nice move there for DraftKings today, up 5.7%. And as they potentially get into predictive markets as well and wrap everything up into one app, I do like DraftKings, and I do think that there is a potential, for them to succeed in the space as well with Polymarket. But, for right now, it's kind of a two-trick pony with Polymarket and Kalshi. But DraftKings, good bottom there at $22 as they try to get all regulated first and then ask questions later, when Polymarket kind of went the other way around and just let everybody do everything. And then got into the regulation of the markets and stuff like that. So DraftKings, nice move today, up 5.75% as we get closer and closer. August 13th, which is now 2 weeks away, and just a little bit over that, is kickoff for the preseason. So getting ready for more football to come your way, and of course we know that means a lot of gambling there. So we'll have to wait for that. Actually, I don't know if the Argos play the Blue Bombers or not, but that's
Go Blue.
Yeah, that's your
team. Go Blue.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up over
Matt
there.
Dunnigan fan.
Oh, you lost this weekend now. Okay, Argos won this weekend. But yeah, we're going to the home opener August 6th. So that's next Thursday.
Oh, that's right. You're saying we still haven't even played at home.
No, so next
Just
Thursday
silly.
I think they'll be like, they'll have played 5 or 6 games.
Well, like 6 weeks. Yeah, it's like week 6 or 7.
Yeah, so that's it, man. But
Tisha Perkins, thank you for the
yeah,
super
we were
chat.
looking at DFNS there.
I don't want to call it defense. DFNS. That was another small capper that we were watching, and it was Bovin was saying this one he liked it. It was looking for the long already, but it's tough to want to chase this up at these highs on DFNS. Like, look at how crazy it's already been. Like, it was 7 to 12 half. You have to find something. It's got a 15-cent spread at times too. So if you're trying to buy like in here at 12, like you're risking to 11.50. So you need like 50 pennies plus. So that's to break the high if you're chasing it all the way up at the top. So I'd be a little bit cautious with DFNS up there. But if you've got it from earlier, like that technical break was so good. I can't remember the last time I saw something like this. It was just a long consolidation, then just breaks, halts up, and then you just can't lose from there. Absolutely sick. But yeah, for myself, that's a little bit too much of a chase for me on DFNS. Like maybe if it were to come back and like test the trend line and hold, that's a little bit better. That's all the way down at 11.20. Then you get that price. You don't need the high of the day before you get 1-to-1. That'd be more my cup of tea. Actually looking at DRAM. Waited all morning long for DRAM to make the second step above 51.5. Finally, it's doing it. So it just closed above VWAP for the first time. So there's that line that I had on the 15-minute to about 51.6. It makes sense on the 15-minute chart. I'll get there in a second. But I want to buy the dip into that. We waited all day, and it didn't happen. Couldn't break VWAP earlier. Now it's trying to do it. So going to throw the stop at that 51.6. Used it as resistance before to get out of a long. This time we'll use it as support instead of resistance on DRAM. They took it on the chin this morning.
Yeah, they did.
Much worse if you look at like SK Hynix, SNDK.
Nice coming back upside though, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're seeing right now the market is making its way back to VWAP. I mean, we talked about it, and we just used basic eye test, right? And I remember I was like, okay, there's the low. We're starting to get a little higher. We're starting to get a little higher. We're starting to get a little higher, and the run is there. But I just want to say, like, we are emptying it out. So we'll just go money bag, yo, because Apple, I'm starting to just take it out. We caught on the way back down in. I took some out at 90s there. I just took another piece out at 78. Have less than 20% left. No, exactly 20% left of the stock. So we'll let it fail out a little bit here. I'm not sure if I'll reload this or not back down in. I mean, for sure I'm reloading it down here. My next bid has not changed, 334.75. So it's $1 lower. We did actually, shout out to you. I think it was Racer. I'm not sure who it was in the chat. Did shout out Dollar Club there, and that is a fill for the dollar. That's 336.05 we got. So that was $1 there. It does go a little higher than that, of course. It goes to 336.25 as it got real excited there, Apple, and then faded again off the 200. We'll see if it gets going one more time. As I said, we're a little nervous about the move down there, but whatever. Could just be regaining some speed. So I'm going to offer it at 80. We'll get out another piece and we'll try to hold. Like I said, we're in 20% now, a little bit there, a little bit there. If we can go back there to the upside. Open Door. There's a few different companies I saw people talking about with reports coming next week, August the 4th for Open Door. We did have Eric Jackson on the show. He was talking about Open Door and how that's been going. Great call on HUT. So HUT 8 has been, and I cannot believe I was long this name like at $3 or $4 there. It's $103 right now. Man, should not have got out of that one there, HUT 8, but again, another Canadian name that really started to rip up, and you'll see it was probably a year ago at this time that we were, there it is. So sub $20, even sooner than that. And then Eric Jackson made a call on this. It was in the 50s. So it's probably in and around here between December into January. I just remember
like 47.
It's spiking. Yeah, exactly. So, that's why I was saying into the 50s. 47 is pretty close. Their upside, making moves back, and then it just ramped into this year. So HUT 8, a big success story there. As HUT 8 goes, so does names like IREN. We'll just see what happens here with Coinbase there today. Crypto starting to take it on the chin a little bit. There was hoping that it would hold 65, but now you're into 64.8. So Coinbase up 5% right now. Good looker, really trying to accumulate down here. Maybe for a break. Like I like Coinbase, Robinhood, MicroStrategy, all these names, MSTR. It's just, when you're relying on Bitcoin and it doesn't seem to want to go, I don't know what else Coinbase can really do. I mean, we've seen it move a lot when this goes. Always have good earnings, Coinbase. It's just a matter of, and I don't know, when do they report? That might be
follow through.
Something to look forward to on Coinbase there. 3 days from now, Thursday, July 30th for Coin. So they're going to come through in a couple of days and we'll see. I mean, I
don't remember seeing them on the graph.
Feel like it's going to be a good report for Coinbase. But yeah, Thursday it says aftermarket on Thursday.
There you go.
For Coinbase.
Why don't I remember seeing that on our infographic? I'm sure it's...
They weren't there when I made the calendar. They have been added. I'm working on Thursday's calendar as we speak, and that's the first time I've seen them there. I triple check before I post anything. To be fair, could have been there late last week. As you guys know, I was on vacation, so that was scheduled as of Wednesday. But either way here, since I've seen it, this is the first time.
Well, as if this week needed to get any bigger when it comes to earnings. There you go. Like Thursday just got
huge.
Wednesday arguably is... market cap probably has a little bit bigger juice, but Thursday, in terms of names and in terms of impact, Thursday just as good. And of course, it'll be post. Like Thursday is the bigger day in general because it's the reaction to Fed and reaction to all of those other names, and then you get the earnings on top of it. So from like a trading aspect, it probably is a crazier name. Daniel's saying Coin's going to have a. Oh, here we go. Let me zoom in here. I got to get that other page open so I can bring the actual comments on like we usually show them. Coin is historically a terrible report in a BTC bear market year, 2022, and now this. That's right. We're in a bear market year. Oh, thank you very much there, Andre. We're in a bit of a bear market. Like that's sort of the thing. The cyclical nature of Bitcoin is weak, and that's been weighing on a lot of these stocks. Let's go back up to Adair at the desk. She's got another story for us.
Keep an eye here on USO, guys. We're at lows. There's not too much of a move, but I just want to make you guys aware. As we know, we've heard from the U.S. Central Command over the last couple months or so. Now we're hearing from Iran Central Command, according to Iranian state media. And Iran Central Command is saying, quote, any blockade attempt equals escalation of conflict. So we know the U.S. has been trying to block Iranian oil. Iran apparently views that as an escalation. So these tensions continue to seem never-ending. We're going to send it over to Sia.
The SPY is currently down 35,000%. Let's take a look at what is going on with these sectors. You have electric tech, Apple, currently trading up 0.70% on the day. You have Nvidia down over 4.5%. AVGO and Cisco are continuing their flat rallies from basically earlier in the day. MU is down close to 3.5%. AMD continuing being a bit of a bear, down 6% on the day as well. GE up 1%, close to 2%. RTX is up, closing to 3.5% with Dell and KLAC sliding further into their losses over 3%. Tech services, you have Google and Microsoft well above 2% mark. You've Microsoft inching closer to 3%, whereas Meta is flat. Oracle, Palantir, and Netflix continuing their rally from earlier in the day. Oracle up 4%, Palantir up 7%, Netflix up almost 1%. PANW has slid a bit further into its losses. It's down 1% on the day. You have CRM up 7.5%, over 7.5%. IBM up 1.3%. And with that, you have retail trade. Amazon trading flat. Walmart, Costco, Home Depot, TJX have held on to their gains from earlier in the day. They're all up. Walmart up 2%, Costco over 1.5%, Home Depot 1%, and TJX 1.5%. Finance, you have BRKB, BAC, both flat on the day. Citi as well as flat on the day, but JPM trading a bit flat, still tilting closer to the green side. You have Visa up close to 2%, with MasterCard also up 2% on the day. MS and GS sliding a bit further down. GS close to 2% down on the day. You have American Express up over 2.5%. Retail. So we have producer manufacturing, AMET, CAT, LRCX also still holding the same bearish momentum from earlier in the day, still all down. GEV down 3.2%. You have Health Tech, Lilly is still flat. We have J&J up 1.5%, ABBV a bit to the downside, MRK flat, and over to energy minerals. We have a bit of reddishness still in XOM and CVX down 1% on the day, but other names you have, just a second. MPC, VLO, PSX are a little bit towards the green. Consumer services, McDonald's is still a little bit up 2% on the day, with Disney up close to 2% as well. And another ticker that I did want to take, CHTR still up 7% on the day. Consumer non-durables, you have KO, PG, PM, and PEP also up from earlier in the day. Utilities is a bit of a drag down here. I'm not seeing a name in the green. Its entire sector seems to be in the red with little names that are flat at the moment, whereas you have health services, non-energy minerals, industrial sector, and process industries that are a bit of a mixed bag of names over here. To end it, commercial services, as well as, I would say, distribution over here, services are a bit of a bull over here, not too crazy, but I want to mention SPGI, that's up over 3.5%. Transportation, you have Uber up 3% on the day, Dash up 6.5% on the day, DAL up almost 8%, but UNP, CHRW continuing to slide, with UPS as well down over 2% on the day, and FedEx down 4%. Sending it back to you.
1% up. When oil's down that much, and oil's down 8%, and Delta's only up a point, you would think some of the travel names would be a little bit better. But there was one thing that stood out there, but before we get to that, and it was CrowdStrike. That doesn't make sense to me. But DJT broke the high of the day, so we slapped a fail on that. If we lose on this, we'll at least make back on DRAM, which is bouncing off VWAP, but I'm zooming it out so you can see Friday's low was 52.8, 52.75. So call it the 3/4 to the half dollar, or to the even dollar. So let's think about getting out at that price. Just don't want to be getting too greedy, because to me, prior resistance, and then you go into this morning, it was a bit of resistance up there as well. So VWAP to about 52.75. But explain to me why is CrowdStrike, why would cybersecurity be down with software up? Well, that's not split adjusted, so that chart's going to be completely useless, and we'll just go over to this for CrowdStrike. I think going into this earnings, these guys are pretty poised. We always talk about the major moving averages, but you're pulling back into the 50 period. So this is a big one, because if spending isn't going anywhere, we heard what IBM had to say, and what IBM said is their clients were spending on what? It wasn't just data center. It was also cybersecurity. They go, they're not spending on us. Those are the things, memory, cloud, and it was cybersecurity. So as long as that stays true and we don't see CapEx go down, I think ultimately these guys should stand to benefit. I haven't looked at Palo Alto today, but should be a little bit more strength, you would think, into that 50 period. It's not quite there yet, but this does look like a good bounce zone for CrowdStrike. So it has to hold on to 179. Didn't double check to see when their earnings report. I feel like it's probably a little bit later into earnings season. Okay, now Trump is starting to speak there in Michigan. I don't know why there was this drag race. I'm not sure what the drag race is about, but maybe he moves GM, maybe he doesn't. I've never seen a drag race.
Michigan, no, not live. I haven't. Obviously.
Oh yeah, I've watched it on.
I know.
I've watched this stuff on TV. Like it's.
Yeah. Should be lots of fun, man. I actually want to go.
It looks exciting.
I want to go to one of those with the green. What do they call those? Monster derbies or whatever.
I went to one as a kid at the X.
Yeah, they're really loud, eh? I mean,
dude, it was so much fun.
Yeah, I know.
All I remember is how much fun it is. My dad was really not into it, but he took us anyways, and like we had a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like fun to do that.
That was back when we remember Bigfoot, the big.
Monster truck rallies or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of.
And then they had like the dirt race.
Looks like Apple's starting to go back up to the upside right here. So there it goes. Again, we did see that. We do agree. I already responded to that. I agree. Adair needs a raise. That is for sure. But don't we all? Doesn't everybody need a raise at some point, right? I mean, no one ever thinks. Look, I mean, Neil and I working here for free, of course, and we got to pay Joe over there. I mean, and part of our agreement was to take a huge pay cut to pay Joe.
Just to pay for his music, the intros that these guys get. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So we had to do that. So yeah, Monster Jam, that's what it is. Good look there. Yeah, so Apple just making its way back. We take another fill right there at 80s. So, just take it out as we go on into earnings season. We already talked about major earnings season is now upon us. And with the Nasdaq, really, I don't know, not flourishing right now. I was gonna say like floundering, is that the right word? I don't know what I was looking for. Isn't flounder a fish? To the downside right here. But yeah, 680, like its high was 750. You're now off from the highs right there. Adair chuckling. So Trump has definitely hit the mic.
Okay, I don't
down
know
9%.
If this was like, if he knows he said this. It's a really funny innuendo, and I'll say it because it is safe for work, but I think you guys will get why I started laughing. He said, we saw the largest piece of asphalt I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of asphalt, but that was the largest piece of asphalt I've ever seen. And that's why I was laughing, if you guys...
Okay. Yeah, I mean, nothing like that asphalt. And, there you go. He's talking about getting rid of daylight savings time now. That one is a W.
Finally.
That's a W. We like that one.
That's bipartisan.
For sure, but there's the NASDAQ down 9%. Is that right from the highs? I mean, maybe it is. That just seems pretty drastic, but it looks like it's right. 750 down to 680. So, definitely worth taking a little bit of an advantage, I think, of this recent move down in the NASDAQ. I mean, instead of sitting there and trying to pick your favorite stock, you just pick the index, and I think you will be pretty happy with it overall. Oh, why is that still there, even though I'm on a different chart? Nobody knows. Yeah, all right, so we'll go to the high there, and let's just go to where the SPY was there on Friday, just down 2.5% SPY top to bottom, and you're getting some back today. Well, maybe you're not too much, but that was a good move there on the SPY. So here, that's what I got to do. Unclick it and it disappears. All right, good. So that's the SPY there. NASDAQ down 8%. You mentioned IWM, of course. When the NASDAQ eventually cuts rates, you are very excited about the IWM. But at the same time, man, it's not far away from its all-time highs. It's actually faring much better than the NASDAQ in a rate environment of potential hikes. I mean, we're nowhere near cutting rates.
Speaking
that is
of,
for sure.
The poll.
Yeah.
Trump thanks the CEO and president of GM.
No
GM
there.
up 4%, and GM looking incredibly strong at
GM
the high
trying
of
to
the
break.
day.
I mean, if it breaks at 88, we want to go long on GM. But
Tomorrow or sometime this week, it gets that 88 level. But I want to ask everyone a quick little question. It's a 37% chance based on what the money markets seem to think. What do you think the Fed is going to do on Wednesday? Hop in the chat. You guys know the drill. You can't vote unless you are in the chat. So jump into the chat, hit the subscribe button. And 1, if you think it's going to be a hike. 2, for a nothing burger, which is the prevailing wisdom. And if you think there's lower, well, I got news for you. It's not going to happen. They're not lowering rates. But what do you think it's going to be? Does anyone really think there's going to be a hike? There's almost no chance that our viewership is going to be as high probability of a hike as what the market's saying.
Oh boy.
So the hike's at 37%. There's no chance our viewers are saying that, because just based on every time we bring that up, everyone in the chat just says they're not going to actually raise rates. There's no chance they're going to raise rates. But 15% of you seem to think that. So keep in mind, the market's saying 37%. Our viewers are saying 15%. That's why Wednesday is going to be fire, because there's this implicit disconnect with what people are really thinking is going. Well, a lot of people are thinking and saying it's going to happen, and what is being priced in the money markets. They're saying there's a chance. I don't tend to think so, but when you're looking at the trade on Wednesday, if there's 2 outcomes and everyone seems to think chalk is that they do nothing, then the one you want to be prepared for right at 2 o'clock is the surprise. If it doesn't happen, you don't do anything. But it's okay, well, if it is a surprise, what do you want to do? The first thing I thought about was, short the IWM, but I'm sure there's other plays out there for sure. Individual names you could probably look at. Maybe a dumpster fire for a Rivian probably.
Yeah, if they wind up raising rates, names that need to raise capital through the open markets, they're going to have to pay more.
Bad for core.
Cash becomes worth a little bit more, and if you don't have any cash, that's a problem. That's why stocks like Apple and everything continue to work out over there. Adara just loves President Trump.
Yes.
It's
I'm sorry,
crazy.
you just said, and it was just a random comment where he said that he's done more for the auto industry than
anybody else in
parents.
history.
No, than their parents, which I don't know what these people's parents have done for the auto industry.
Probably more than
an off-the-cuff remark. That's why I laughed.
Probably more than anybody in the history of automotives. He's probably done more than anybody, right? More than Ford himself, all right, so this is the dollar right now. So in a raising rate environment, you look to get some dollar strength back in the U.S. dollar. But U.S. dollar, this is already appreciated pretty nice. You're already above where we were back in May. They're trying to take out some of these levels to get back to dollar prominence up at 110 again. I mean, we have a ways away to get to there. I don't think the U.S. dollar is going to rip up 10% here. This is an overall dollar index. This is not the actual dollar itself. This is a DXY. So just a measure of dollar strength against other currencies. And we're going to see right here if that can break above on, looks like, if we raise the rates, I think you'll probably go upside on the dollar. But again, with the rates where they are right now, I think you're probably good to say no raise. Donald picked Kevin Warsh for a reason, and I think they want to keep rates steady. But Donald Trump, as Adara knows, has gone back and forth with saying how great inflation was, and he kind of meant the CPI prints were really great and they were lower. So I think there's a little bit of confusion there. And I don't think Donald Trump wants inflation. I mean, you see what's happened at the pumps recently, and then you look at a name like a Walmart, and we just understand that again, what a great call by my guy over there, who is definitely getting some money on Walmart right now, as Joe called 108 twice right there at that low. So, good on that call, Joe. And, now Walmart's back up to the upside. And we talk about Walmart because is it a trade down as the economy gets a little, sticky with inflation, and more people now, I think, live paycheck to paycheck than maybe ever before in the United States. That was a stat that I heard a while ago. I don't know if that's the truth still, but, Walmart trading down, meaning that, someone that potentially before made six figures may still be making six figures. But the fact of the matter is, and trust me from, someone that's doing this on one income, raising 3 kids and has a wife there at home and a dog and a cat, now another cat, and a couple fish. And by the way, one of our fish died. My son brought his cat home there, Andre. So now we got 2 cats, Oliver and Alexandra, Ali. So we call them Ollie and Ali right there. Ollie's a pain in the ass. He's always at our door first thing in the morning. But anyways, what I was going to get at is I think cost of living seems to be going a lot higher, man. I made burgers 2 nights ago, or was it last? No, it was 2 nights ago. And anyways, I'm making the burgers and I made 8 patties because I was like, that's a lot of patties because we have 5 people. Is it? Well, that was the other thing. So I had 1. My 2 boys had 2 each. My wife had 1.
I could picture Baron eating.
Daughter Baron would have had probably unlimited of them. Yeah. But even as I was making them, I was like, shoot, this is getting to be 1 pack of buns is 8 buns. And a pound of ground beef or whatever, obviously you need to start packing on, more. So I was just getting, the fact is that costs getting higher. So I like a stock like Walmart. As traders trade down a little bit, consumers maybe that used to, shop at the Whole Foods. They still do. I was talking about how much I love Trader Joe's, and, Target is a trade up, I guess, from Walmart a little bit. I know they don't have the same food section, but Target's been a holding of mine for a while. And I think Walmart and Target can find some bottoms here as more reasonable places to shop than some of those, I don't want to say exquisite, but more focused, like a Whole Foods or something like that. Anyways, just one of those calls there. I like Walmart down there at 108. I think that was a good one.
Yeah, it basically pulled in that breakout price on Walmart. The best thing will be, I don't want a weekly chart. We like a monthly chart on Walmart. Much, much better. If you look at the monthly chart, that 100 level, as long as it holds on to 100, there was almost like a perfect consolidation of higher lows in there. And then when it broke out, pulled right back in and held. So as long as it holds that, it could be fine. All right, DFNS. Your small capper T3 defense is halted upside. It just broke the high of the day. So we went into a volatility halt about a minute ago. Should be 5 minutes. The current tap saying 1305 for the small cappers out there. And finally, it was teasing, and then broke out the top, got about 2 cents, and then halted. I wonder if it's like you drop it far enough that the halt becomes the high break. Sometimes I don't think that's a coincidence. It did that in the morning. It kind of broke the high and then went right into a halt. Perfect timing. So DFNS should be about 5 minutes or so. Watch out for that. Probably the only one of the small cappers that's really going. Early look imbalances have nothing except for BAC, 1.6 million on the buy side. I guess BSX is there, but that's not going to be anything at 1.4. Oracle with a 1.1 million buy. That would be worth tracking. Oracle for 1 million shares is pretty solid. 4% up today for Oracle. Stock is allowed to go up. And remember, Oracle's up 4% into a down market. Still hasn't done anything to break this trend line. Now, that's the problem with Oracle. 4% up, it's nothing. It's nothing. But the stock was cut in half just from the end of May there. Actually, June 1st. June 1st, 250, and then cut in half. So this little 4% jaunt, You need to do a bit more than go up for 1 or 2 days. Oracle needs to take 30s, 135s, then you can start getting a little bit more excited. DRAM's really slowing down. The problem is the futures got to VWAP and they've now stopped moving. Like here's the Nasdaq.
Wow. Yeah.
Like it broke. We get to VWAP and then things just kind of slow down at the volume weighted average price, but it's slowly climbing higher here. So
that's a good poll, green or red Nasdaq. Is that the one you put up? No, you put up.
I want to see the Fed one, but that's that's over now. Yeah, we can put that.
What was the score of the Fed? We could show it on the big screen.
It's 16% for a rate hike, which is less than half of what the market's pricing in. But I think we just wanted to get a sense of it. That could be a little bit more interesting here.
Winner.
Yeah, let's just crown that the winner, and let's go with you want Qs or SPY?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, SPY is already positive. It doesn't matter whatever one we want to do. I mean, they're both holding. Nasdaq up, down 0.23, SPY 0.8. Well, you could do the ES if you want. We could say, what will the ES close, green or red?
Okay.
Or,
it's a flat right now.
Yeah, because Nasdaq's already down 0.2, so maybe there's more odds in the Nasdaq remaining red. But yeah, no, to that point, man, we started calling some of these. It's why we took Apple. We could have taken the futures as well right there. And I think you are hovering. I mean, good call out on the VWAP right there with not a lot of earnings coming tomorrow. We already sort of ran through it. Well, you know what? We didn't look at what was tomorrow morning. They're ahead of earnings. So
yeah, we know after the bell was.
So you guys know, like all I do is just go over right into Trader TV research right there. Yeah, PayPal, and this is post market. There's going to be. I've scrolled down here. I know there's a lot. I mean, Adara. Oh, here's Chipotle. What's up to Brian Nickel there? All right, here it is right here. So whoopsies, I clicked on the wrong one again. Right here. So earnings tomorrow morning. Yeah, PayPal. We'll see if they can get going again. We can have a look at them. I think that'll be a good report. Honestly, I don't know. Like, why does Stripe and Advent and a few other buyers circling around PayPal right now? Could be something in with them.
I think they need to raise a bid. But.
Yeah. I don't. It seems like there's maybe a higher bid coming for PayPal, which is nice because they're holding the bid. Warner Brothers today got stopped with some bad news. We can have a look at that too. JetBlue downside. UPS. Okay, we have that one for tomorrow morning. Okay, we can have a quick look at this too. All right, so there it is. Thanks, Andre. PayPal 8.3. Right. Coke steady Eddie. Good report there. I mean, we talked about how Coke was well outperforming Pepsi this year, I believe. Anyways, maybe it was the last quarter. Corning, wow, GLW, like that name's been absolutely pumped to the downside. I don't know what's wrong with that. I've really liked that stock. Didn't step into it, picked Qualcomm instead, but Corning getting killed there. Qualcomm with a dividend. JetBlue, and then Boeing. Boeing? Oh gosh, I love some
Tomorrow
Boeing.
was huge then.
Yeah, tomorrow's a much bigger day than I gave it credit for, especially there in the morning there. I like some Boeing, man. I really, that's a stock I can definitely wrap my head around. I mean, you want to buy monopolistic names.
Exactly.
And also a name that could run on China strength too. So yeah, I like Boeing, beat up a little bit there on the daily chart. If I could choose anything to say, just early take would be any dip buy on Boeing I'm down with. So if Boeing can get into this area here, 2 bills, and this could all change. Like if they throw something really at us that's different than expected and we somehow tank. But I like Boeing. I've always liked that stock. And it's funny, in this move down, I actually had a 125 bid, no word of a lie, and it stopped at 128, and then it did this. So Boeing tried to buy it on dips down there back in the tariff problem, and it wasn't able to, and didn't even play it here. We did make a move. We did buy Boeing here at 200 actually. We actually did that. It was bad for us, and then it was good for us, and now it's flat again. So last buy on Boeing was 2 bills. But for me, that would be my pick tomorrow morning, regardless of what happens. I like Boeing. So
yeah, look, I'm a lover of Boeing. Have for a while. I just think the breakout. We'll get to the weekly chart on that because it really needs to make a big break on the weekly. But I think the call from PayPal will be interesting because I think they're going to have to. They're going to comment on the deal, and what I think could come of it after a good response and a good quarter is the potentiality of raising that 60.5 bid. So $60.50 is the current offer, right? The board has already said, that ain't good enough. We need a bit. They didn't say we need more, but they did say they have not accepted that offer. So I think that's something that could come from the call. And usually you'll wait, get some good numbers from them, and Even if they raise by 10%, that'd be a good look. So we're going to get the poll in here quickly. We hinted at it. We got about 30 minutes until the close, just over 30 minutes until the close. Simple one for green, 2 for red. We're talking about the SPY, the ES, if you like it. So do you think the S&P 500 closes in the green today? It is very slightly green already, but it's basically flat, 0.08% to the upside. So that's about as close to 50-50 as you were going to get. Let's see what the actual sentiment is from the viewers. So I hope we go to the upside, obviously, but the Nasdaq and the ES have both been slowing down, let's just say, at the volume weighted average price. Like they're both at VWAP and slowing down a bit. Still pretty close. Another pop, and we should be able to get into target on DRAM. But now that it's made a consolidated bounce and broken this high, I'm going to put the trailing stop in at the prior low.
Yeah, good look there on DRAM, of course, nicely cooking with that position. What I want to talk about quickly was we got out of some more Apple. I'm going to take advantage of it. I just put an offer at 95 there. Looks like that may be a little high. We just got to 93 and stopped. Let's see. Come on, Apple. Get back up there, and then we'll start to empty out the clip a little bit here as we head into, as Neil just mentioned there, 330 coming into the imbalances, and we have no idea where it's going from here. But a name that was pretty interesting, we are getting ready for the one and only coming for an Asian update. But SpaceX, actually, if we're going to talk about a name that's the other way around on VWAP, we can see the futures making their way up, the NASDAQ futures into VWAP. That's exactly what happened with SpaceX. But now we've held it a couple times, and we're starting to go a little bit higher right now. Tiffany, how are you doing? Good. Thanks for asking. I'm doing all right right here. But yeah, look, there it goes upside right now for SpaceX. And what a good little bounce off of VWAP there. I think we got to take SpaceX long if we get an opportunity down here at 111.50 or so. It's now off to the races, breaking through 112. And there it goes upside right now for SPCX. And hey, only down 2.5%, was a lot worse. Brand new, all time right there. I don't get money. I don't get money. SpaceX says, took a lot of my money in the long-term account right here. It's been one of my best. Yeah, exactly. Right now, yeah, took a lot of unrealized profits right now, but we'll wait to see what happens. It's been my #1 stock since it's IPO'd, and it's been absolutely fantastic of a day trade. I think it's just created so many amazing opportunities there, and it looks like another one just happened off VWAP again. I mean, look, that's cherry picking. There's a lot of stocks that probably look like that, but SpaceX right there, straight up $1 from that level. I don't know if they have any space stocks in Asia or not, but they probably do. I mean, there's probably some that we've never heard of. I'm not going to put one on the spot there, but if he does know any space names, maybe we can look at them. But we're going to go back over to the desk right now. It's One and Adara with our Asian market update.
Well, we did just get a brand new stock in Asia last night, and of course, lots of other catalysts over on the other side of the pond, as it were, here to talk to us about the various Asian indices is One.
Thank you, Adara. And to answer Sean's question, there are some space stocks in Asia. We got Hanwha Aerospace in South Korea, iSpace in Japan, and ST Engineering in Singapore. Now, yeah, continuing on with Asian markets, basically everyone in the green, driven by easing oil prices as well as a lot of tech gains as investors, of course, awaited some key central bank meetings for this week. Now, we go straight to China. Shanghai Composite regional leaders up by 1.15%. The huge story there was chip maker CXMT. They had a blockbuster listing surging over 500% from their IPO price. And they're now the most valuable stock on mainland exchanges in China, okay? This highlights strong investor appetite for Chinese semiconductor tech stocks, as well as, Beijing pushing for that self-sufficiency in tech. We heard the news on ASML with, of course, state-backed company producing immersion DUV tools. That definitely affected ASML today. But yeah, that's really good coming out of China. I mean, it definitely put them all the way up there. And that has also flowed over to South Korea. The Kospi up by 0.97%. There's a lot of tech shares being boosted on AI cooperation deals. We heard about Nvidia going in with SK Group. They've got a $750 billion investment or semiconductor supply deal with SK Hynix. They were up by about 3.24%. Nvidia also investing $1 billion in Naver. So huge listings here from Asia, but we've got to also focus on the the open for tomorrow morning. You know, you got to expect some tight range-bound positioning on the Kospi as well as the TAIEX in Taiwan, especially ahead of all those US megatech results coming up throughout the week. Watch if the memory lines sustain their relief bounce from yesterday, or if high-frequency volumes accelerate that of selling across the region. Shanghai, they're now at a technical hurdle of 3,860. So monitor that Shanghai composite in the open. See if there's any liquidity momentum from the People's Bank of China, PBOC. If that stalls, then watch for automated rotations from the Science and Tech division all the way to large cap defensive blocks. So yeah, great day for Asia. Hopefully a better day for US tomorrow.
Yeah, these big tech and Asia stories continue to meld. And again, you can catch one every day with us at 11:30 a.m. to talk about the European markets, and then at 3:30 p.m. to talk the Asian markets. See you tomorrow.
Thank you there, Juan. As always, just chill delivery. Like he's one you can already see the growth, just smooth and comfortable, and he actually knows the stuff. Like
you must have got the same training we did.
Well, the deep training we got. Well, first of all, the months and months spent in broadcast training, it wasn't easy. It's a bit of like a boot camp that we go through, where we get absolutely zero training whatsoever.
I was kicked out of that boot camp real quick.
Okay, there was. I'll never forget this because this part's actually true. We actually had someone in from broadcast. I remember when we used to do that green screen stuff. Okay. I remember he spent a lot of time. I won't say his name. He spent a lot of time showing us how to properly do like the weatherman thing in front of a green screen, which we clearly use all the time. So it's a one skill that I remember being taught, and thankfully, if I ever go into doing the weather, we'll get to use it again. Because now we have a big, gigantic, unbelievable real TV or screen. We don't need to use that fake green screen where you don't know what's going on. Just a couple of things though. We mentioned SK Hynix. One mentioned SK Hynix, the memory chips. Bit of a rough day. So it's pulling right back, double tap its all-time low since the ADR listing. So this is not like, obviously, this is a company that's been trading for a while over there in Asia and in Korea, but here it came to market. The former low was about 146. It bounced up to there, rejected, just bounced up there, rejected again. That trail could have been part of the reason to have just gotten trailed out. On DRAM, it just broke the high, took the prior bar for the first time with the first red candle since the consolidation break. So I'm going to slip out of it. We still have about 20 minutes, over 20 minutes till the close, 15 till the imbalances. Still nothing too crazy. Oracle is the biggest early look at about 1.1 million to the buy side. Of course, remember the size of the imbalance is relative to the share price. So Oracle being a $120 stock, much bigger than BAC being a $60 stock here with 1.6. But that's the one that stands out. It's going to be Oracle going to the close. And then DFNS halted up again. So just, wait a minute. I had the tap at, okay, the tap's flat. Last time it told you it was going to open up higher, but the tap is now flat. It's halted 223% to the upside. So good look. If a stock halts and is halted in the last 10 minutes, remember it opens at 4 o'clock regardless of 5 or 10 minutes. This one should open up just after 3:40. But once you get into that final 10 minutes, all bets are off. And you'll be aftermarket trading if you get caught in that final halt.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught with your shares with nowhere to go. But yeah, be careful with the halts there in the after hours. But there goes Apple again. So there it is right now. We are dollar clubbing. Maybe it's not the right day to go to a club. It's Monday. But hey, man, like I said, it's wine o'clock somewhere. But there goes Apple. We're taking out some more outs. And look, just 2 fills today on Apple, right? Right there off the open, off your 200 period. And then again right there as we thought, as we thought it was going higher. I don't know why that was made down there. But these 2 bids, upside right there for Apple. There we go.
Hold on a second. If you draw it on one chart and your charts are linked, does it do the shape on both?
I guess so. Let me see. Right here on iBit. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's a great feature. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Always winning with these features. But yeah, IBIT right there. I didn't draw anything there. That was not on purpose, just to show you guys. But IBIT, nice cook to the upside as well. So, both of these positions. And again, if you guys are looking for a little bit more data, make sure you do sign up every single day for our watch list. We do have Sharif's morning note as well. But if you go over here, you go to free 99 is pretty much everything that we do around here. But the sticky note right there has got these two big trades right on there, Apple, and then IBIT 3650 low for IBIT, and that today, written on the sticky note, you can go find it. I'll put my X handle there in the chat. You guys go click on it if you want to. Today's X note, over 6,000 of you. So we want to say thank you so much for that one. We get 6,000 of you checking it out pretty much every day now. So we want to thank you for that look. But there goes IBIT upside, and then there goes Apple upside. The only other trade we made today, which is my P&L number one, is still the Qs, which is, I trade the TQs, so it's a Nasdaq product. Downside there, just looks like we were planted purple flowers, but hey man, could not have predicted that move. Really happy with the way we traded it, to be honest with you. There, poll for you both. Do you think Qs will be over above 725 in a month? Okay, I'll give it to you right now. All right, so I'll just make a quick little judgment call. Over 725 in a month? Oh boy. So we need to be back. I'll say under right now for me. I'm not super excited about Mag 7 earnings right now, and we'll just wait to see. So a month, we'll still have some earnings. We'll wait for Nvidia to come in there. Yeah, I don't know. So for me, I'm gonna go underneath in a month from now, and that, which is weird for me because I'm a perma bull. So
well, trend is your friend till the end. Two things: the trend from the top has been sell, and then the second part would just be, well, if they sold Apple, sorry, not Apple, if they sold Google's earnings, then that's, do I really expect, do I think Amazon and Microsoft are going to have better earnings than Alphabet? I don't know about that. And the trend is what it is. So I'll just stick with the trend for better or for worse. SNDK again from Easy Peasy. The man long, okay, wait a second. Long, short
of the man, yeah.
Qs.
Yeah, there it is.
1.5 short SNDK AI signals posted print money.
Here's money
SNDK
storm.
every day.
This guy loves SNDK.
Well, love to short it because 12% down is not a great look. We showed SK Hynix, obviously DRAM taking it on the channel a little bit here today. Memory names got smoked. And then we got I'm going to say Ortiz here. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Can you look at SMCI and how it could relate to earnings this week?
If that's not Ortiz, then I don't.
Well,
I don't know, because there's a hidden. There has to be.
It just makes it easier to fit the.
Lee Orts.
Why not? Look, SMCI. The stock has been a dog. My answer to SMCI is Dell, and it always is, and I think it'll stay that way until something gets proven otherwise. SMCI is kind of like that second fiddle that you kind of you hope will go, and unfortunately.
And we're both wrong. It's Ortega.
It's not Ortiz. Oh, my bad. No, that's my bad. I made it. Obviously, it's a pretty.
No, there's a Z there. There's no way we could.
I just made the assumption. It didn't look like it. My bad.
Of course
there you go. Nickname. So why not? So Lee Ortega. Yeah, I'm not a gigantic fan of these guys whatsoever. And until it breaks 50 and 200, the last time it did, it was like a squeeze play and then a rejection. So I think with SMCI, you're looking for squeezes and then get in, get out, and then like a competitor or I don't want to say compatriot, but a cousin here over in Dell is like bull flagging. Like if one stock is buy the dip and continues to make highs, and the other one is buy the dip and then it goes lower, you know which one has been better. I know no one likes chasing anything, but the quote I said last week is, I feel much better if I buy something in an uptrend and lose than if I buy something in a downtrend and lose. It's like you bottom pick on something and it breaks a low, you're like, oh crap, what am I doing? But if you buy something in an uptrend and it finally breaks the uptrend, it's like, well, I backed the right horse. Everyone wants to hit that long shot, but if I'm pegging a guy to win the home run derby,
it better be Kyle Schwarber.
Well, I would have picked Kyle Schwarber before. Yeah, the guy's at home and he was a champion. Yeah, he didn't win it all, but I'd rather back that horse.
The right here, DFNS. I think I probably said Bovin more. No, probably Sharif. I sat down here. It was 5 times.
Oh, weren't we supposed to do the bet?
Yeah, it was 5 times in 3 minutes. But I was only here at 1 o'clock, so I didn't get to hear it all. But what's up, Bovin? Right there, nice move higher in DFS. It just broke into $16 right there as this small cap runner continues to impress today with 65 million shares with a float of under 2 million. DFNS just continues to move higher right now, but there's the halt down. So I just got to tell you that right now. I'm not sure how many down halts we've actually even had today in DFNS. That's an up halt. Yeah, that would have been an up halt. That's an up halt. So there it is, just bringing it to your attention again. And we're hoping that everybody's okay in this name. And as Sharif had mentioned before, like there's a lot of traders that will hold these things overnight. And, you would have been right. There's no, if you went parabolic, that's going to be a reverse split. We went there from 450 up to 7.25, back down to $4 before today happened. And then we just extended out higher. So T3 Defense Systems upside there, halting down with a Bovin tap of 12.11 right now. So a close of 13.54. Looks like it'll tap down about 20% right now. Not the best look early for that one as it is now halted, and we will wait for the reopen. It should be a relatively clean reopen there in 3 minutes. So
as well, Sean.
Oh, he was talking about Sean Fain. Oh, nice. He's got a Dara and
Say that again?
buttons.
Hit that again.
It didn't come out as well, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there we
he had a lot
go.
of nice things to say about that Sean, not this Sean earlier.
So we have that one. So we want to say thank you.
Thank you very much, Dara.
So we just need to meet the next time he talks to somebody named Neil.
Well,
Then
he's
we'll
not
get
going to
that.
comment on
But there
Crash
should-
Curry.
There should be a Joe. But there
There'll be a Joe, because Joe Kernan, he talks to
might never
Joe
be a
Kernan all the
Sharif.
time. Well, there's not going to be a Sharif.
Yeah.
100% there's a Joe, because he's done interviews with Joe Kernan like multiple times on CNBC.
Yeah, we'll be able to get a Joe.
That's
in there.
their guy. Like, he does it in the morning.
That was funny though. So we have that one. So we got to get that. I mean, these guys can hit it whenever. I don't want to hit it on myself. That'll be pretty funny. But DFS
Fabian, give me the
right now, WLDS also halted. So we already looked at this name. This name's been right now 7 minutes already for WLDS. This name, halt. We haven't been open for more than 2 minutes right here. And I do want to give one more quick update here. The Real Trading Book. I mean, if you guys are frustrated with all the algorithms and everything that's been happening right now, check this out. Real Trading by Daniel Scheffer here, the founder of Real Trading, where we sit on right now. Good prop name, of course. This is your essential guide to the global stock markets and the role of the human touch involved in those markets. So definitely get a look over here. This talks about, look, whether you're a retail trader or thinking about going full time, this is a book for you. It's right on the back. So, definitely have a quick look at the Real Trading Book there. We want to say shout out. It's only $1 right now. You can get that on Audible. Go read it or listen to it at your pleasure and leisure there as well. So, WLDS halted, not reopened. DFNS halted, about to reopen in a minute. And we wait for, of course, the imbalances, which kind of look a little bit like this. BAC upside, wow, $62. What the hell? We missed that one. This has just been on a straight. Yeah, that's been on a straight fire in the booth right now for BAC. That's been an awesome one, an awesome ride for financials.
It didn't come out as well, Sean.
I know, but I know President Trump is not all about the banks.
Right.
But, right there, he doesn't, maybe too much regulation.
I had to test that key just to make sure it worked.
Yeah, it works. It works there.
I wasn't convinced that it was going to work, but it'll never happen because there is
going to be a Neil talk
outside of Kashkari, but there's no reason that the president would say anything about Neil Kashkari. He's not.
There has to be another Neil.
We
didn't expect this Sean one out of nowhere.
Well, here we are.
I got to thank Ramin for that. She was listening to she has her ear to the ground all the time with all of these reports because clipping stuff. You've seen some posts on Instagram and whatnot. So, thanks to Ramin for all of that. And she messaged me. So I sort of did have an idea that clip was coming, but I didn't really know what he was saying in it. So that was a good one there. But
I have questions.
I love the asphalt story as well. Someone in the chat just said right there, what's up, Ozan? Tell you his for you, Ozan.
That is how it's.
Look, man.
People say
it was the greatest pool that he's ever seen. That one that got all that fungus in it, whatever right there. That was great job he did there, and now all the asphalt there. If he comes to Downsview Park, man, he'll see a lot of asphalt there as well, as that's where Rogers Stadium is. You got to walk a mile to get to that. It's in the Downsview Airport. So yeah, a lot of asphalt in airports as well, Mr. Trump. FCell breaking out. This is a Sharif name.
Hold on, but breakout 12-minute? Is that like a time frame that like an undercover
secret
looking at
12-minute charts, Neil? Smart.
I've never heard of someone looking at a 12-minute chart. I mean, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 12 is oddly specific, but I don't see anything happening on any chart for FCell. This is a 15-minute chart. There's no breakout happening there. Here's my daily chart. There's no breakout on FCell unless it's breaking $25. So X2C, not sure what's up, but FCell is flat on the day. Don't see a breakout. Maybe there's something we're missing. You think it's breaking out after the close in 12 minutes? Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Maybe
that makes a heck of a lot more
coming
sense. There you go. I thought you were talking about a time frame there for FCell. They've still got a pretty decent enough short float that the bar is low for FCell. We have 1 minute. Maybe they'll have an imbalance. Probably not. Like, why would FCell have an imbalance? But you never know. Maybe it's going to have one. In about 1 minute, we're going to find out what imbalances are out there. Also, so the fact that DFNS didn't open up in 5 minutes would suggest it might not open until 4 o'clock. Because if it doesn't open before 3:50, they should.
Oh, WLDS opened though.
Oh, so that one did? So WLDS did open, but DFNS did not.
Yeah, but then it closed in the exact same minute. So this name will not open. I mean, it's not going to open anymore. If you don't open in the last 10 minutes, as Neil just said, you're not opening.
Till 4.
So this is not opening till 4 o'clock. This just halted again at 3:48. So it's not. It opened and closed in 9. Here we go. We have this halt scanner right here. It opened. You don't have to zoom in. I'm just going to show you. It opened and closed 21 seconds there for that to have happened. And here's DFNS, and if they don't open up now in 20 seconds, then it's going to open at 4, and then it is bombs away. And I don't think you really want this to open up right now. It's 12.50, so it's going to open up about $1 lower. But we are now moments away from the imbalances, so get ready to rock and roll in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. What is on here to look at? It's Nvidia with a bid, so we go boom on Nvidia. Apple catching some heat too. Oh wow, we just get that fill on Apple. Spin that again right there. Okay, Amazon caught a bid. I think Adara's going to give us a big number here on the B side of things here, because a lot of big names with some big buys right there. I like big buys, and I cannot lie, especially when we're long. You know, I mean, there's iBit with a nice move, but we've already got into that one. It's Apple as well. No, that's not big enough, man. I thought that would have been in the billion.
Given it's almost all to the buy side there, but oddly enough, ETH ends up being the largest of the imbalance in terms of the actual size, but not notionally. It's only $14, and I don't think we've ever seen this move the market for ETH. Same thing with iBit at the close, so it might be a buy imbalance. The reaction was to go down 1 cent over there on ETH, so I'd say nothing burger for them. Nvidia 1.7 when it got smoked. That's a bad sign that you get a buy imbalance, it spikes, and then doesn't even wait a couple of minutes to revert. They just reverted it instantly. It spiked into resistance at 198 and then immediately gets sold right off. So watch out. By the time that one pairs off, that's what they do. The whole idea of the imbalances is to put it out publicly so people can take the other side. So very likely that's going to get much, much smaller in the next couple of minutes, and already some sell action here for Nvidia. Remember, Nvidia lost 2 bills today, but it did not lose the 200-period moving average yet. So you got support down here at $190 in that 200-period for sure. The chat is going on with some of these quotes I see people making, or that have been said by the president. A few of which I'm like, they're funny, but there's no way they're real. But yeah, keep the jokes coming in there.
I haven't seen them, but I don't want to discount anything.
Well, one of them I'm like, he didn't say.
Okay.
The poll, oh, by the way, green or red? It looks like the ES. I mean, it's still close, but it was 61% for green, 39% for red. But if you're tracking the ES, unless we get some kind of a late bounce, we're rolling underneath VWAP. You know, we're down 0.04%. So it looks like the 40% of you that voted red might be a little bit correct. We still have a good 7 minutes to go. It ain't over.
I'll pick on the green side.
I pick green.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I didn't pick yet, but I'll choose green. Even though we are down 0.3 right now, we're watching the Nasdaq just barely got to green. I think it was it Thursday or Friday? We did something very, very similar to that. Okay, we will end it right now with a good idea of getting out of iBit. So we are now out of iBit. This is now $1.55. You know, the big trade that we've been holding all afternoon really added to the net today, and just nicely topping it out here in the afternoon with just one trade on Apple. Boom, boom, right there. Pretty simple, easy day for me, man. And easy days are the best days. We only traded 3 names. So there's IBIT right here as it was written on the note, Apple as it was written on the note, and then the futures with the TQs, we did not have it written on the note, but this was the big one. And this is what Easy Peasy was super chatting about. It was the ability to have your flip game strong. And, we were long there early and we were starting to bank out. But then once we lost the bid there, we just said, forget about it, man. Chip names downside. We saw DRAM going to the downside. And then we just exploded that. And this is 4 times my next biggest, the other 2 names. Basically, Apple and IBIT are similar. This is, the big one there. So IBIT's better than, it goes futures, so it goes to Nasdaq, then Apple, then IBIT. So just 3 for 3 with an easy day there today, which is always the best days. Netflix starting to go upside as well today, but then faded into the close, or in the last hour anyways, $71 there at 3 o'clock. We did just touch down to 70.20, so down 80 cents, but did get a high of 71.50. So it's nice to see now. It looks like on a green day, Netflix will end green there. I don't think that's crazy to say that. You now have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 days now in a row of Greensville there for NFLX. So we like it. We like it a lot when the trend starts working for you. And we still need to break above the 50. And if we do that, then the trend solidified back there to the upside and ES.
Guess what is closing above the 50 and trended up today? Begins with a P.
Yeah, I just saw it on you.
I know. Ends with an Allantier, in case you didn't know. 7% up, closing at the 50 period. I shouldn't jinx it. It's really, really close to closing above the 50 period. But there looks like a wipeout bottom at 120. Wow. Palantir, the IGV, and the software names are catching a bit of a bid, with the exception of, for whatever reason, cybersecurity didn't really have that strong of a day, unfortunately. But no, Palantir is super strong. ServiceNow super strong. The IGV looking really good. ServiceNow's not split adjusted, but there you go. ServiceNow only 7%. Well, I actually gave it back going into the end. I was asked the tap on DFNS. Remember, it should open at 4. It's still saying lower, so unfortunately, it's going to open $1 lower. It looks like at 4 o'clock here on DFNS, and it tends to keep dropping here. So we'll have 4 minutes to go. Remember, there's no halts in the aftermarket, so that dollar is nothing. Like, it could flash $2 or $3 in either direction really, really quickly. But good luck if you happen to be caught in this one, and that's one of the reasons you want to be careful trading at the end of the day on these small cappers.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that's part of the reason of getting out maybe 3:30, something like that, and wrap it all up. And, generally we will trade very, very light into the close. So that's what we're doing again here today, because you never want to be, sort of a victim of whatever this comes out at. Today we were lucky enough that most of them came out as buys there, but Apple just extended through 337. So a break of 337, we'll give it a couple pennies and then we'll stop out. This stop was about 30 or 40 cents, right? And now it's $2 in the money. So we're pretty happy with the way that's working. We saw a bigger move today for Ethereum as well. I guess I can cancel my other Apple bid there. We're not going to get those, so we'll cancel that out. But Ethereum with a nice day today, up 4.7%. We like that stock moving forward. And of course, it's not a stock, but BMNR was one that was up quite nicely against Ethereum, so that's a good one. And then just looking forward to tomorrow, where we've got a big number coming from PayPal tomorrow morning. I think a lot of eyes going to be on that one as we try to take out some of this 58 level on that past sort of buyout rumor level there. And there goes Apple. It just breaks below 337, so we give it a heartbeat. Then we punch out. So yeah, that's $2 right there. Pretty clean on Apple. So there it goes again. Yeah, there it is. Easy peasy. Yeah. Short to Q's, long Apple. Wow, genius. Followed me. I'll take that for credit, but thank you so much for there. And you and I today for sure got, and we want to thank Apple and we want to thank the TQQs for getting that cash again there as we spin it around and around and around. And we'll see if we could do the same thing tomorrow, easy peasy. You've been with us for a minute, so you know what's good, easy peasy. So good follow and thank you for bringing that up again. But there it is. Thank you, easy peasy. Long Q's, or short Q's and long Apple, man. Can't get better than that today.
Well, definitely can't get better than wins for sure. And it can't get better than that real trading book, which Fabian apparently is all interested in.
He's reading it right now. Yeah, Fabian may want to become a trader.
Well, you know what?
Don't do it, Fabian. Don't do it.
it's a good read as long as you're interested in the markets. You don't have to be a trader to read that book. You could just simply have an interest in how the market functions, the structure, the ability. Well, basically how money gets made by some of the big boys. And if you are not paying anything when you execute a trade, then you are paying something anyways. Believe me, you are the customer. With that zero fee stuff, it just means that you're paying in another regard. That's one of the more important things out there for sure. Let's be real. Yeah, still tapping low. That does look pretty nasty for that RKLB. There was a nice bounce in some of the memory chip names, but SK Hynix, we haven't shown Micron today. We showed you SK Hynix. They're trying to catch a bid here at the end of the day as they get to about $900, still down 2.5%. I'm gonna get that fly at some point, and still looking pretty nasty overall. So I think tomorrow we'll come in, and this is what we've seen 2 days in a row in Micron. Same thing with SK Hynix. So it's hard not to be thinking fade on DRAM. I know I only went long today on DRAM, but let's be real. That's like dump higher, dump higher. Like the structure is saying short the pops. There weren't any pops, though. You had to basically short the flat bottom break at the open. Could be something similar. It's a weird one because that is a short for the last 2 days. It is 1 minute till the close. I'm going to throw up that DFNS stock because I think that's what people are looking interested in. Tomorrow morning's big earnings with PayPal, so there's really nothing to see on the earnings front. That'll be a big one in the AM. DFNS, TAP is now looking a little bit better, so about 40 cents higher from before, just underneath $13. So good luck if you happen to be holding this one. Could be some big move after market. We'll see.
Yeah, it will be, I think. SpaceX here, just a great recovery into the close. So what a move off VWAP there. Definitely missed opportunity there buying that. We saw some strength hitting the name and, really debated acting on this one, but didn't do it. With 10 seconds left, we do want to thank VinFast, the global intelligent mobility company, ticker VFS. Scan the QR code right there, get a deal on a new VinFast, and let them know that Trader TV Live sent you. We want to thank VinFast for their continued sponsorship of the Closing Bell. Thank you to VinFast once again. Rivian reports this week as well. And I actually here, let me find out, when does VFS
their losses
reports? VFS, I do not know when they report, but yeah, Rivian coming. And we didn't even look too much at Tesla there today. Where did that finish? Oh, by the way, the Nasdaq finishes red, but the ES easily in the green there, 0.07. Just joking about the easily, but there it is now cooking there. And Tesla bounced off 300 pretty clean right there. It got to 304. What do we have as a low? 304.28. We'll see if we get a little closer to that $300 mark there tomorrow. So yeah, I don't know. I'm secretly hoping that the rain starts to come down, but
Really?
Who knows? We got practice at 6.
No.
Tesla bumping up just a little bit right there into 310 again. So there we go for Tesla bumping a little bit there after hours. So yeah, nothing really coming on the earnings front that we need to talk about right here.
I want to get our game in because
you play tonight.
It's our last game before playoffs start.
Ooh, already?
So yeah, you don't want to. Like, to me, like the next Mondays will be playoffs. Like we get a game each week in the playoffs.
Our playoffs don't start till September.
Yeah, and then this is like 9U house league, right? So they ended a little bit sooner. So I don't want to miss a week. And the problem is the last 2 games have been cakewalks. Like we've won 39-5 combined the last 2 games.
That's the worst.
And we're playing a pretty solid team today. So therefore, we get a challenge, which I think the kids need before we go into
that. Before
we actually go into the playoff game. Because if you've just been blowing teams out, and then you play a good team, you're not ready to be focused. Yeah. You're just too used to low stuff. No, I want to play tonight.
I hate those blowouts.
Yeah. You're not learning anything from those.
It's funny because even our T-ball doesn't end until late September too. So I don't know. You guys must be ending early over there. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, good luck. I hope the game goes for you guys. Hopefully it doesn't rain in Brampton, but absolutely pours in Toronto. We will see you guys. Thanks, Adara, for everything today. Thank you, Joe, for sticking back with us and providing some stone cold action. Thank you to One as well for that, and gave you some names in Asia there that are. Space names. So thank you, Fabian and Ramin, Tiffany and Andre today as well. Sharif, Sia in the back, and Brendo. So thank you to everybody. And there you go, Neil. I give you.
It didn't come out as well, Sean.
Yeah, it didn't. The show. We'll try to do a better show tomorrow.
We will. You can step it up for the president.
So we do want to think it. Okay, Joe wants the I get money. So tomorrow we'll see if we get a little bit more. For now. There we go. We like that one. We'll get some more money tomorrow for everybody, hopefully. I'm going to go home and spend some. So see you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp.